big meal and right into the joint. No.
Golden Cubs game on Saturday, night game, national. Yeah, they went like. We're rebuilding. I hope so.
Howdy, how are you?
Ryan, you kicking the whole thing off?
Sure.
Go for it.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us here this evening. We're going to call this meeting to order at what time? That's not going to help you.
Sorry. 6:08.
All right.
Sorry.
Just a couple of brief things. We have a little funky little timer. I have to set it up for 3 minutes. Maybe someone else could talk while I do that quickly. But essentially, oh, ready for this?
Well, kind of.
But the right deed goes to the punch. So essentially, it's a countdown timer, very simple. 3 minutes, little beep, go on to the next person. So we have a very, very full agenda here tonight. I mean, it's the mother of agendas, I guess you could call it that. So I'm going to try and moderate the session. I'm going to try and keep it moving. I'm going to try not to cut off things, but essentially, again, this is a business meeting of the Water Board. We're going to conduct business here in front of you all. We have a time for general comments at the beginning of the meeting. We have a time for comments specific to each agenda item as they come up, okay? We have a board that doesn't like the wind, but it describes what I just talked about here, what I talked about in the prior session.
Is this the sign-in sheet?
It is, yes. So any member of the public may speak on a non-agenda item for 3 minutes. We'll provide that time right at the front. And then any member of the public may speak to any and all of the agenda items. You have to sign up for that, and you get 3 minutes for that particular event also. Is there anyone here who would like to add their name to this sheet? All right. All agenda items. Okay, very good. All right. Roll call. So let's start with a roll call. Jeff, are you here?
Jeff Walker here, yes.
Scott, are you here?
I'm here.
I'm here. All right. So at this point, we're going to have public comments. And so let me check my list here. First up for public comments is Ellen Hicks? Alan Hicks. Sorry, looks like an E.
Wait a minute, we need Alan Hicks, not.
Yeah. Well, cut my hair, so
I know.
y'all all know me. Been thinking about all day what to try to come up here and address the community. But then I got to thinking I'm not going to beat my head against that brick wall any longer. Team Windermere put together a few years ago to help Jeff Walker and Renee elected to the board on the promise and transparency, everything being out in the open, member involvement and all that stuff. I remember Jeff Walker sitting in meetings, the back of it just screaming and cussing at Joe Jimenez for doing the exact same thing that he's doing now. So I said, I'm not going to beat my head and talk to these guys. I told you guys a few months ago when we were talking about the IRS that I wasn't finished. So I'm going to continue my pursuit, whether it be county, state, or federal agencies, to the fullest extent of the law to bring any type of civil or criminal responsibility in to the prior board members and former board members and hold them accountable for the irreversible damage they've done to our community and to this water corporation. Thank you.
All right, I'm not going to mess with my funky timer. What happens when you get technology a day before the event? Okay. Let's see, another general comment. Danny Flunker, I think it is.
Yeah.
Just one on there. Go ahead, sir.
Timer started?
That one.
Start.
Start.
Got it. Started. I wanted to address the issue of a board member who, by all appearances, is a pathological liar. And I'm curious what actions, if any, the board of directors plan on taking.
Danny,
No.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but look, there are matters of decorum, okay? You have just publicly humiliated another person.
It's called freedom of speech.
Yes, it is. It's freedom of speech, except the TOMA provides
Freedom
for
of speech.
stability. And let me ask you this. If you were in the PUC meeting, which you were this week, would you stand up and call another person in that meeting, what you just did?
I would, Cone versus California.
Would
Learn
you
it.
do that, you personally, in that type of a meeting?
Can I get going? Thanks. Okay, Jeff Walker lied about Jay Lefevre's conducting an appraisal. A fact that we all now know it was false, which is significant. Additionally, Jeff Walker distributed an anonymous mailer containing correspondence between him and Kern Van Eman. In this communication, Walker claimed the potential buyer of the airport property walked away, the board turned the offer down, and the offer expired. Which version is accurate, Jeff? Jeff Walker has lied so many times it's hard to keep track of. This behavior should not be tolerated. Brian Garceau, you publicly professed in an open meeting to be a good Christian. As a Christian, it is essential to uphold these truthfulness as Jesus did. He called out hypocrisy, emphasized the importance of honesty, and rebuked deceit. Allowing another director to repeatedly lie to the community it goes against those teachings. Moreover, you have a fiduciary duty to do what's right. Or were you simply virtue signaling when you told us all you were a Christian? Now the same director is involving his developer friend who was interested in the same property in 2020, who insulted the real estate committee, calling them stupid asses, and the person he worked with to obtain his hangar lot, Kern Van Eman, in the already tainted insider land deal. If you can't see the clear conflicts of interest here, you're not paying attention or are completely dishonest. In closing, I urge the board to address these issues with the seriousness they deserve. Thank you.
Thank you, Dan. Okay, there is one other. Is it Jeff?
Yep,
I thought you signed me up, you said.
I did. Oh,
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Patty. I did ask whether there were multiple on that line. Did you sign up to speak?
No, my husband signed me up.
Are you going to speak?
I am.
Okay, great.
Go for it.
I actually had no intentions of speaking, so forever he said, oh boy. I had absolutely no intentions of speaking, but, and this will be brief, and I'm just, whatever, shooting from the hip. Number one, I see over and over, and I've heard it from board members, and I've seen notices of water being turned off, that we're a district. We are not a district, and you need to know this as a director. We are a nonprofit water supply corporation governed by Nonprofit 22, Texas Water Code 67, and subject to the IRS Code 501c12. That's what we are. So if you want to be a district, that's great. Be a district because you're going to have more laws applicable to you under conduct. But I mean, that's basic knowledge for a board member. You should know that. We're not a district. We're a water supply corporation. Bam, that's done. Second, on that same note, it's crystal clear to me, and I get we're volunteers, we're all volunteers, but there is a responsibility of being a volunteer, fiduciary duties, responsibilities, that you know what you're doing as a volunteer. You know the job, you know what's responsible. And if you don't, you have to seek out training, whether it's from AWR or whoever, TRWA. Y'all need training because clearly you don't know what you're doing because the taxes have not been filed for this year. I sent them an email with a laundry list of things that haven't been done. And guess what? That's what's on the agenda tonight. So obviously they're listening to me. So why don't you listen to this bit of information? Get training because you don't have all the tools in your chest, your tool chest to know what you're doing. You need help. You don't have a general manager. Most water systems out there, if not all of them, have general managers. You don't have one. You have an operator, and I'm glad you guys are here. You're doing a good job. So thank you from the previous one. But you need someone to do the governance. You all don't know it. And if you continue to manage this water company without any advice, without any training, it's a train wreck. So that's all I've got to say. I implore you to get that training.
Thank you, Patty. Right, that, as far as I know, on the sign-up sheet is the end.
Except for me.
Oh, I'm sorry, yes. Thank you, go ahead, Jeff.
Here you go. You got 3 minutes. Did you want to start?
Sure.
Let's go to the head. I'm speaking as a member. I'm a member who did my buy-in fees. I have the certificate, just like many of you out here. I'm not just a voting member. I'm somebody who put in equity in the company. I paid my shares when I joined over here. But let me tell you what's going on out here that I've learned through various requests of information. You're about ready to get smacked with $198.86 in legal fees per user. That's right up to date. Dan, you can put me on tape. I don't care. This is to date from the 1st of March till the end of June. $198 we've accumulated in legal expenses per user. There's the facts. Anybody want the folder?
You're speaking as a member.
No, I am speaking as a member.
That's information that a board member
You want to
has.
know? No, it's not. It's easy to obtain. Patty, sorry. So let me continue. Did I interrupt you? No, I didn't interrupt you. So this is what you guys are going to get smacked with. Now let me if I could finish.
Speak as a board
You know,
member.
you can file your thing with Ken Pax and your TOMAs and so on and so on. This is reality. This is what it's costing you. The IRS audit is right now at $61 per member. That's as of today. The board didn't sign up for that. I didn't sign anybody up for that. Anybody sign up for the 2022 audit? No, somebody went out their road, but it's going to cost the membership $61 because there's a legal fee associated with it. The CCNM, right now it's up to $65.82 per member. That's a lot of money. Hold your comments. You should have. You want to know something, Patty? We give you. No, I'm not out of order. The PIA requests to date.
No, he's insider information. He's speaking as a director.
Okay,
we're stopping the time.
This is a public comment, just like you got to slam me. I have not said any word about anybody. There is no. You can easily obtain
have
it.
that information.
You can easily obtain it.
We don't have that information.
It's right here.
Jeff?
No problem. The PIA request,
Should be
this
a
is what they're
board
costing you.
discussion. This
And
should be a board
you have it on
And that's what it is, okay?
Jeff.
So after my 3 minutes, I want all the users to understand, this is what it's gonna cost me. These people are reaching into our pockets and gonna grab $198 from you. Get set. Anybody want this? It's right here.
To these people, who are you referring to when you
All
say
right,
these
what's
people?
next? I'm sorry. Look, there's a
Well,
risk.
Brian, I'm sorry. The CCM case, he could have shut down and started
It's-
from scratch. He decided
right
to
in
fight
here.
for Jim Madigan.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you
No, I
did. The
didn't.
IRS thing. You
No, I
didn't even
didn't.
involve the attorneys.
I had to.
Yeah.
You have to,
You're fighting
Danny.
for the former directors.
You have
Stop
to
it.
involve legal.
All right, so
It's-
we started
you know.
the meeting off by saying we have a long list of things to discuss. Problem with a board member stepping out, sorry Jeff,
Okay.
and making statements is they invite everything that just happened. The TOMA makes it very clear that we can respond to specific bits of misinformation, but we are not to go beyond that. In other words, the point of these types of meetings is to listen to the members. So the general part of this is whatever topic you'd like, we're supposed to listen. And Danny may actually be correct. It may be okay for another human being to stand up in a public session and call someone else a liar. Where I come from, back in New England, that would not happen.
Cone
It's
versus
not
California.
it's not correct.
Cone versus California.
I'm just thinking, thanks, Danny, I'm sorry. But
That's
you
settled law.
you very well may be correct, okay?
I
I'll
am.
go back and look at TOMA. I thought otherwise. I'll check. Now, again, we have a long list of things. Let's just move on. All right. So again, what we're gonna do is we're gonna bring these up one at a time. Actually, we have actually a short presentation by our water operations people. So, Tammy, right? I'm so sorry. So I'd like to introduce Tammy again, and she has some information for us about operations of our water corporation.
Hello. So my full board report was sent to the board, and I believe that's going to go up on the website, so you'll be able to see everything because it's lengthy. But I just wanted to highlight really today, and that's why I came out here, was to talk about the drought contingency plan. So the LCRA, with whom you all purchase your water from, amended their drought contingency plan in March. And then they went out to all of the firm water customers, which is what you all are, you're a firm water customer of LCRA, and said that you need to go through your current drought contingency plan and you need to modify it, amend it to be as stringent. You can be more stringent, but you can't be less stringent. And to kind of follow when they, and the triggers, when they change from stage 1 to stage 2 to stage 3, and so on. So I went through your current drought contingency plan, and I went through the LCRA plan, and I made the edits, the amendment, the proposed changes, sent that to the board, and I'm seeking approval from the board today so that I can then take the final and send it into LCRA because I need to turn that in by August. They had given us till August 1st to turn that in, so I've been working with them very closely on that. And so what that means to you all, I'm just going to highlight some of the changes. So the first thing that the LCRA did is they said, we're going to make it so that all firm water customers, even when there's not a drought and the lake is full as can be, you'll never irrigate with automatic sprinklers or sprinkler heads more than 2 days a week. They recognize that long term, with all the growth that's going on, that water's always going to be a problem, and when we finally do get water, we don't want it to drain quickly. And so that's the first change, is that there is going to be a permanent 2 days a week watering, and there's designated days for you based on your addresses and designated hours. The second thing is their stage 1, which is now your stage 1, is still 2 days a week, still the same hours. However, they ask the corporation to reduce the water by 10% during stage 1. So what happens, when does stage 1 take place? Stage 1 takes place when the water drops below 1.1 combined storage lakes. So when Travis and Buchanan, those combined storage levels hit 1.1 or below, we're going into stage 1. Stage 2 is when those combined levels go and hit 900,000 acre feet, which they did earlier this year. And that's when stage 2 will kick into a 1 day a week. Same designated watering hours, but then based on your address, you'll water on that 1 day only. Your 2.5 will go away. And stage 3 is when the combined storage levels get below 700,000. So then you'll still do 1 day a week, but shorter hours, only 6 hours a day. And there's designated days on it. And all this is going to be on the website, so you'll see it, because I know y'all are going, okay, keep up with that. Trust me, I've been looking at this for so long, for so many water corporations and districts, because they're both in MUDs, that my head is going crazy with all of the changes and stuff. And then stage 4 is where it's critical. Stage 4 LCRA says, we're going to give you a monthly usage for the whole corporation. And if you go above that, we're going to fine you. If you go below that, we credit you. So stage 4 is called curtailment. And that's when we have to then obviously get our customers involved and say, hey, you have to start reducing by 20% because LCRA is demanding us to do that. Let's hope we don't get to stage 4. Stage 4 is below 600,000 acre feet, I believe. So let's hope we don't get there. But I just wanted to kind of highlight for you what this is about, and you'll see it once they approve it. We can put it up on the website and you can see it. For you right now, you're not changing anything other than we're not going to call it 2.5 anymore, but you're still on your watering schedule that you have right now. And you'll see your days. That's going to be the big deal. You'll see your days and the hours. And again, this is mandated by LCRA. So that's the big one that I wanted to talk to you about. And then again, my packet was full too that I gave you all. The other thing I just wanted to call out was we had a recent TCEQ inspection. Our operator came out here. We provided we do this all the time. We provided all the information, got everything prepped and ready, walked the plant with the TCEQ inspector, and happy to say that we passed. So just wanted to call that out.
Good, thank you.
Yeah, and that's really all I wanted to say to you guys, just so that you know that you can expect that. Okay. All right?
And we'll put that all up on the website.
But I need a board approval on the drought contingency plan so I can get it over to LCRA.
So what I failed to mention was that this is actually number 5CI. Is that correct?
No.
No.
What's wrong with this one here?
The operator report.
It is I. No, wait a minute. That's right. Yeah, no, it's wrong.
I have the wrong version of this.
You might. I know we had it on there.
Yep.
We'll have to have a special meeting before,
Yeah.
so she can get it out on the first, before the first.
Yeah, we might just have to have a special on it, Brian.
Say again?
We might just have to have a special meeting on it to approve that. I thought it was there.
Yeah, so we
Not in
did
my draft.
receive your report, and we'll have to actually act on it at our earliest convenience. You said what date is your deadline?
So originally it was in June, but they knew that with the amount of clients we had, they gave us till August 1st.
Oh, okay, all right, so we're good.
So,
Okay, thank you, Tammy. I'm sorry for that.
okay, because it's not something we can do via email. It has to actually be done.
Yeah, it's got to be board approval.
Yeah,
But,
in a meeting. So if it's not on there, then we'll have to do a special.
yeah.
Okay.
Well,
Wow, that was fun.
All right.
Thank you.
What's not on the agenda?
Does any of the membership have a question? Anything for the operations? You want to open it up?
Let's, we have one person that asked to speak to each agenda item.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering.
Okay, Danny, would you like to speak to this one?
Was it PCT violation on wastewater? Water and wastewater, or wastewater?
Which violation?
Not violation, the visit, was it on
The visit,
water?
I'm sorry.
Was
Was it for everything?
I believe it was the water plant.
Gotcha.
I'll verify, let me verify that for you.
And then my next comment would be thank you for being here.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I'll verify. I believe it's just the water plant, because the stuff that came back, you know, it was passed, but then it just said in the future this could potentially, you know, that stuff was all on the water plant. But I'll get that answer for you.
Comment.
Typically, they're two different ones.
Yeah,
Typically, because they have two different divisions.
yeah.
Okay,
Okay, is that it? All right, thank you.
Thanks, Danny.
thank you. All right, moving on, we have minutes of the June 6th board meeting.
Never gotten back to me yet.
Okay, we do not have them, so we cannot vote on accepting them.
That's correct.
but if we saw the video,
Yeah.
can we approve that?
No,
That's
I
weird.
did ask.
Yeah, that's weird.
All right, so we're on to the major section 5, deliberation and decision. So number A, we'll talk about first. It has to do with discussing, consider election of officer positions, adoption of resolution, establishing board officer positions. So this is something that's been discussed.
That's the resolution.
This is the
That's 5A,
resolution?
yeah.
Okay.
What?
Isn't that it?
Yep.
All right, I haven't read this.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, you saw when we just got that huge packet. Yeah, that was the one from Lee.
I read it.
All right, so Jeff, give us an overview of what we're looking at here.
I had not, I got it at 5 o'clock like everybody else did. So we can table that one for future discussion.
I think it's probably a good idea,
Yeah.
since we.
I mean, the league put it all together, we just haven't had time to review it yet. So,
All right, so,
And I will say, according to the bylaws, any subsequent meeting, we can appoint officers.
yes.
So
Yeah.
we don't have to appoint officers.
No. Yeah. we
At
can
any
table
one
that.
meeting.
Right.
Okay.
so Danny, we brought this one to the floor. Is there anything you'd like to say about this one?
But you didn't ask me about the minutes back.
This is 5A,
No,
yes?
it's just 5A.
I know, you didn't ask me about the minutes. How come June the 20th isn't on here to approve the minutes?
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
How come the June 20th isn't on here to approve the minutes? Jeff said he had some little gadget that he hooked up to a printer and it just printed them out.
If you go back to the video, Danny, and look at it, it said that was in test mode. There was no, and it clearly states that. That's why I clarified it that way, that it was in test mode. It did not capture everybody's voice. That's why it hasn't been used.
Okay.
Very good. All right, let's go on to the next one then. 5B, discuss and consider sale of WSC property, parcel numbers 56161 and 62330, including listing agreement with Curran Van Eman, and take action as needed. So,
Hey, Brian, there it is.
this I have seen.
Yeah.
So, have we all read it? Okay, is there any discussion that has to happen on this? What, give us a summary of what we are about to enter into if we agree on this.
Mr. Van Eman is a seasoned professional in real estate, both mostly in commercial. Has tremendous knowledge of the airport and of working with the water company from his past dealings. The gentleman knows every easement that is probably on the airport, that is around our piece of property, knows it by heart, where it's at, how to get this thing done. He is willing and able to take it out to the open market, to places like Barnstormer, as the membership has requested. He will put the necessary signage. He does note, and he has done extensive search on it, he does note that there's only a 50-foot access easement to the back property off of Piper Lane. Not really ideal for an airplane. The wingspan does cut a significant market down, but he's going to do his best to market the property to any and all potential buyers. He will come up with a market analysis, his broker's opinion, as I think he referred to it as. But I think he is the most knowledge about what it is. He wants to maximize the sale price for several reasons, not only because he wants to do well for the water company, but he also makes more money, obviously, when he sells at a higher price point. He's got contacts within the commercial business trade, which it is open to commercial access, because the access points within the airport are easement access, not restricted only to airplanes. So that does open up a market availability to other potential markets besides just people who wanted to buy a hangar. But he's open to all of it. I've never seen a guy who's more knowledgeable about an area in my life than Mr. Kern Van Eman. So, yeah.
Thank you for the overview.
Yeah.
Before we go into discussion period, we have one person that wanted to comment on this.
Sure, this is
Yep.
great. So, I remember being at the meeting, I think it was the 20th, your attorney told you to get a survey and an appraisal. Anyway, but I need to give you an overview of who Kern Van Eman is. He's Jeff's friend. Jeff bartered construction work to get his lot from him. He, through those emails, the string of emails, he was friends with the guys that put in the offer. I would say Mr. Walker not only has a conflict of interest, Kern Van Eman has a conflict of interest. I also believe that you should, Patty sent you a list of, I think, 3 or 4 companies that market airport property. In fact, one of them has Zach Wright's house marketed, before you decide to go with one conflicted person. Thank you.
Thank you, Danny. All right, so we're going to go into deliberation on this right now. So we did have this looked at by our legal team.
Yes.
The legal team came back with a rather extensive list of changes to that document. How do we intend to address those changes? Because some of them were significant, I think.
We'll incorporate those changes. A lot of those were just clarification from Aaron. I've spoken with Aaron. They were like, well, how do you identify the lot size? He did include there is no current survey. That is, there's one from 2018 that parses out the pump station into a separate. I think you've seen that, Brian. You've seen it. And there is a requirement to put an easement on the property for the wastewater line and such, which we will do. We need to get it listed and in the marketplace as soon as possible while these things get done. It does take a while to get a survey. It's not uncommon to have a realtor list your property and then go out and get a survey and handle this one particular easement. I think the updated survey or attaching that survey from 2018 was contract, Aaron was comfortable with doing that. And a lot of them were just changes like, simply, well, again, we got those changes at 5:30 tonight.
We did.
We did. So,
And I know some of them were actually to our benefit. I mean,
Yeah,
she's there.
of course they are. Yes.
She's working to
Yes.
protect us,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
So,
That's what she did.
so what are the intentions then as far as this document for this evening? Because we just received those.
Yeah, we just received them. We can put it on the next agenda when we have a special meeting.
I think we should.
Yeah, and we can incorporate those into the document. Like I said, they arrived in our inboxes at 5:30.
Yeah, I think that's a
Yeah.
reasonable way to go.
Exactly.
We want to have.
And
the
Curran was
final
totally
document.
fine with that.
Okay, good.
Curran was fine.
And I think that, like you said, time is of the essence here, because we are losing money every month. And we're gonna run out of money. And there's not much you can do when you run out of money. People start coming after you. So, we need to get some money. It looks like right now, land is the best possibility. It may not pan out. We may not get an offer for it. You know, I think we messed up when we didn't accept the first offer for $1 million. But we can live with a lot less than that to keep this corporation going until PUC lets us change the rates again so that the company is going to be on a good financial footing. So I think this is just one example of trying to get some more money, but might be the easiest one.
All right, so we are, would you entertain a question? If you don't want to. What I'd like you to do, would you mind, could you hold it till the end of, I'm sorry to do this, but the end of our meeting, it's going to be a while.
It's just on this topic, 30 seconds.
Go ahead.
Thank you. Have I missed something, or is the real estate committee that you guys appointed, is it not a factor anymore? Because the real estate committee isn't participating in this. You've not mentioned anything that they've done or should have done or might have done, or maybe they need more time to do it. That's all.
You know, this is a remit of the board, not the real estate
I'm
committee.
sorry, but this is not a question and answer period, right?
Yeah,
This is, we entertain comments from the public. Thank you very much. Good question. All right, there's nothing we need to do this. Let's see, let's take a vote. All those in favor of tabling this issue and having
Make a motion. Yeah, you make a motion. Yeah. I make a motion to table this to the next board meeting once we have all the final comments from legal in the list.
Would you add who's responsible for carrying through this?
I'll take it out.
Second?
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right. All right, next up is just this number, 5C, discuss and consider status of compliance filings with the Public Utilities Commission, docket number 55454 and 56167, and take action as needed. Now, we have a number of these items under here, a whole bunch. Well, what, 7?
Yeah.
Okay, 7. Jeff, you know these best. Do you think you can discuss them all? We can discuss
I'll give
them
it a
all,
shot.
deliberate on them all, and vote on them all, or should
Sure.
we do it singularly?
You know, they require a list of eligible to vote in the annual meeting and special elections. That's a list of membership. It was there. Why it did not get printed in the stack, like what they sent us today, I do not know. It wasn't held out. You know, they're all numbered. I think some of these probably just didn't fit the format of where it came through, but it's just an individual list. That list was scrubbed by our billing person and sent to legal. I've seen it, but we could table it since we don't have it in front of us.
You don't have the actual.
Yeah, we don't have the actual list. I mean, I don't know what we're gonna do to validate that from a board standpoint. We gotta trust the people that manage the members list.
Well, this is
So-
really, aren't we really talking about the status of all of these items, right?
What is
So
that?
it's-
Discuss and
It's-
consider
it's-
status.
Yeah,
us
status. Yeah.
Talking about
Yeah.
the status of where
That's the
we're
status.
at.
We have the list. Why it didn't get printed.
And one thing I intend to do for those is
Yes.
make sure we have a person assigned
Yeah.
to each one.
Right.
And then the next meeting, I'd like to see an actual date for each
Fine.
one, and then we'll be able to try to hold
Yeah.
it to a date from now on.
Yeah, I got a feeling that we can submit this up to the PUC at our next board meeting. It just
Okay.
simply didn't get printed.
Okay, good job about that, all right. So that's the list, the Class D report. I get to talk on this,
Yeah,
I
you
think.
can.
So Jeff and Lori, I think, are working on this report. I've gotten a look at it, a blank version of it. I'm not sure how far exactly along it's at, but essentially it's something that larger utilities, Class A through C, generally need to submit every year. Class D, I'm not sure, I found nothing where it said it's optional, but essentially what you want to do with this is take your prior version, move it over into a new document, make the updates to that, and then submit it. In our case, we're not able to find a prior version of that. So if it's,
Let's clarify that, because we were not responsible for submitting them. Remember what Erin told us on the phone about that? She simply said, these Class D reports are brand new, that the compliance is requiring us to do that. We've never had to do it in the past because we're nonprofit. She was surprised that we had to do it, but it's in a very extensive table of what? You've
Yeah.
looked at it, it's like,
Yeah, it's like
8 to 9 tabs.
it's 8 or 9 tabs,
Yeah.
each one with different types of
Right.
information, but essentially it's financial information, literally financial information, that if your financial books were in order,
Yes.
you just lift the data off of there and you plug it in over
Right.
there in your
And,
time.
and that was the reason why we did not have one in the past. We were not required to file it. So we're not out of any compliance.
Okay.
It's one of the things that we're looking for to us submit, but a Class D is not required for
That
nonprofit.
explains several items that I
Yes.
noticed. Yeah,
Yeah.
okay, very good. All right, so that's still in progress, and you're assigned to that, right, you and Lori?
Sure, I thought that was assigned to you the other week.
Oh, well, see, this is why we talk about this, right? If this is me,
Yeah, I think that's you.
okay, I'm going to put that down.
Do we have any due dates for these? Are they all
Yes,
the same?
the due date on the Class D is passed.
It is.
Yeah.
And it's passed
It's overdue.
multiple times, by
Yes.
the way.
Yeah. I'm
And
sorry.
there are several items that we're due, the PUC, that have gone past. And essentially, and I'm not sure if I'm supposed to be pontificating here. I'll just stop here. All right. Eat your own dog food, right? Okay, so that's essentially the Class D report. I don't think there's much else to say, except Brian is now on hook for it. This should be interesting. All right, next one, proposed revisions to bylaws. This is another thing that comes up pretty regularly, overdue. I know others have been working on, some people, members here, have put a lot of time into restructuring the bylaws, but it has not come to pass yet. Has not been submitted yet.
My recommendation is to form a committee to attack the bylaw subject. I think it's a pretty big item. It's pretty passionate amongst many members as well as board members. Brian,
Okay.
I think we need a committee to steer it up.
Okay, very good. So we need a board member
Yes.
to chair that committee. Any?
I can do it.
Okay. Good.
I've seen the proposed one so far.
All right, so essentially,
You want to form the committee tonight?
I would like Scott to go off and, to me, give it some thought.
Okay.
I would really like to see people on a committee that will work well together,
Okay.
that will work well with the board, that want to see this stuff move ahead, that want to get this taken care of and do it, get the job done.
Cool.
That's all I have to say.
Okay.
Well,
So
I would plan to send out an email then to all the members and asking, we need some experience and some dedication, and that should do it.
And I guess the only follow-up I would say, it's totally up to you who ends up on that board.
Yeah.
Simple as that,
Okay.
okay?
Lori can help you send out that email, Scott.
Oh, yeah.
Lori can.
Okay.
Here. We actually went into deliberations before we asked for general comments. All right, Danny, would you like to comment on this one? We probably should have had you
Which one?
first.
Which one, bylaws? Is the comment on bylaws? Okay.
Well, it's kind of, I didn't get to comment on this 55454, but just so everyone in the room knows, Brian, Scott probably don't, but that was Jeff's filing, and Jeff agreed to all the terms of it. Every last term that was in it, he signed off on it, just him. So the deadline, and they've missed every day. There's now the deadline has been made, and the chief administrative law judge just came down pretty hard.
Yeah, it's not pretty. A lot of the stuff is still not done. But as I just mentioned, we're going to tie names to this and end dates, and we're going to try and work it. Okay,
Oh, I've got one question. If we come up with some proposed bylaws, we can send them into PUC together, they take on it without a board vote, is that right?
I don't think so.
It's draft bylaws.
Yeah, draft bylaws.
Yes, draft bylaws.
Yeah.
We don't-
Not-
review.
Not individual sections. I would recommend the whole packet.
Yes, the
Yeah,
whole thing.
yeah.
Send it up to them,
Yep.
and their staff will review it and come back with comments.
I don't know if they'll come back with comments or not. That's something you can answer.
So,
And we have an assigned person that handles the compliance.
okay.
Yeah, there's an assigned somebody, and I'll find out who that is for
Okay.
you, that you work with.
All right, so we did things in reverse again.
Sorry.
My fault. All right, so,
We're new on this whole, we gotta work out the bugs.
no, I know better. I
Yeah,
have some
that's okay.
experience, but it's been a long time.
Yeah.
Okay, so anyway, let's do the voting anyway, just to get it
Yeah,
on board.
that's fine.
So I move that we assign Scott as a board member to create a committee from members that he has chosen to review and update our bylaws.
Okay. You make a motion?
And that was my motion.
I second it.
In favor?
Abstain,
Okay.
majority wins.
Passed,
Where is it on the agenda?
passed not quite unanimously.
That's C5C3I. Discuss and consider status.
Doesn't say create a committee, no.
All right.
Discuss and
I'm going to try and do things orderly now. Okay, so the next item on the agenda is application for a minor tariff change. I'm not sure exactly what's involved here. If we were to do things in order, I would have Danny speak, and then we would go into the session. Danny, would you prefer that we talk about what this is first?
Nah, y'all can talk about it. But
You don't-
I mean,
okay, good.
These issues are so vague that I don't think anyone on here would actually know, like, proposed revisions to the bylaws, and you just created a committee. And by the way, I've requested the proposed revisions. I heard Scott say that they exist and have never gotten them.
Yeah.
But I'm not coming down on you. And then the application for minor tariff change it should actually lay out what the tariff change is.
Yep, agree.
And it should, per the text of the meeting that. Anyway, but y'all are doing fine.
So I'll just, one follow-up to that, because he's absolutely right. The idea of these agendas is to make them plain enough and complete enough so that my sister-in-law in New Hampshire can determine whether she wants to get on a plane and come to this meeting.
To make a comment.
It's an open meeting. Okay. Actually, I might stop at the borders of Texas, I'm not sure. But I like the analogy anyway. Okay, so what is our minor change?
There's actually going to be several of them that have been discussed, not finalized, not in rough draft yet. I think this is actually a good discussion, to be honest with you, that we're having about this, to just kind of tease up action items that we need to address. So the tariff changes that I know, I'd have to talk to legal again. We got this at 5 o'clock today. I know one of them is going to be coming from AWR. They would like to see changes in our the buy-in fees and the membership fees and everything else like that. She'll be submitting her recommendation of what she sees around she being damning. That'd be one thing that have to be updated in the tariff. So that's the only one that I know. I don't know if that's a minor change in regards to the legal.
Yep.
You know, keep in mind, legal did review this
Right.
and probably updated that. That's the only change that I know until we get into that.
All right,
Again, I
so-
think any tariff changes we should get more detail on, discuss it at our next meeting, but everybody knows about it in the community that, hey, we are discussing the tariff, which I think is good, and then we can publish it and such.
So is this essentially in the hands of our legal team at this point?
I think they're going to need some information from us once we talk to them.
And remember, right now, we're using tariff from the PUC.
What? No, our tariff rate.
Well, from the last judgment that they had. From the legal.
No, the last update was on 2020. So, well, you're talking about supplemental changes to the rates, yes. Yes.
Not
If you need that.
only rates,
Yeah.
water usage, they put all that
Yes,
in
yeah,
there.
anything related to the
They
rates.
gave us a new tariff.
Yeah, she did.
They
Yeah.
gave us a new tariff.
A new supplemental.
So-
That's correct.
We've done some comparisons, looking at rates for water usage. There's a lot of people that use a lot of water
True.
very cheaply.
Yeah.
Very cheaply. It takes it away from the people that conserve water. So I think those rates ought to go up. Okay, and that's just my personal opinion. But, you know, you're right, we need to make sure whatever we do is legal, and then make sure it makes sense, and make sure that this is gonna be covered for any of our future expenses, including what we're gathering right now. We're losing money. All these bills are gonna have to be paid for, aren't they? That's gonna be covered in the new tariff. Gonna be covered in the new tariff.
My only input on the tariff.
We are not allowed to lose money.
So,
My only comment on the input on the tariff, after I've read it, several times, Brian, was, I think the whole section of IMP's membership is low.
it's dangerous. Hasn't been
Tammy, who had, I asked her, I said, what are the other companies doing? I mean, it's a good source to go to. She has that, unfortunately she left.
I know some other water districts
Yes.
are charging like 15,000 for it.
Yes, yes, they're significantly kind of low on that. So we need that data, and then we just need to get it back, and then do a resolution to adopt it. That's what we did when the new rates came in. We did a resolution.
When I was researching the Class D report, I've seen it also used to adjust rates, but the maximum you could move the needle was 5% in a year.
Yeah.
May not cut it. So is there another option as far as that goes?
No, I mean, Aaron said it's kind of wide open.
Oh, it's wide open.
Yeah,
It's kind of wide
I think
open.
we can do what we need
Yeah,
to.
there are some rules and standards, and you can't just go to like 15,000.
Not allowed to lose money.
All right, so this one is very serious. It goes to our
Yeah.
being solvent.
Yeah.
Who's
I
gonna-
don't know if it's a committee thing, but, because I think it's,
I think, can't we just leave it to the board?
what?
Can't we just leave it to the board?
Yeah, that's what I think we should just leave this one to the board, at least just on the rates. That's all I have in here. I don't know what you guys have, so I don't know whatever research you guys have had instead of tariffs about this.
Well, like you said, lots gonna be done
Yeah.
through legal, maybe talking to PUC or somebody, and what's gonna happen when we
I'll take it on.
This is Jeff?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll come back to you for dates next time. I'm easy. All right, next up is election procedures.
No. Number 5.
Oh, I'm sorry, affidavit regarding service to members only. This is 5CB or 5, again.
Again, it did not get printed. See, yeah, it did not get
Yeah, I
printed.
didn't print it either. I mean,
I tried to print this whole
the
stack. so
198
let's-
pages
yeah.
is a little hard.
Yeah, can we kick that one?
Can we what?
Kick it for the next meeting?
We can. Would you like, do you have enough information to at least provide an
Yes.
overview to the
Yeah,
board?
Yeah.
it's probably in the original package, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. So we're gonna have a big special meeting.
Yeah.
All right,
Okay, moving on. Number 6, election procedures.
That's the election procedures that Mr. Renee French put together that have been used since April 15th of 2023 and been enhanced.
did Richard sign that?
Yes.
Okay.
That-
So
that's
these were
when they
passed
were-
by a prior board.
That was passed by a prior board and have since been updated.
And weren't these used in the February election?
Yes, they've been used since April 15th of 2023.
Okay, so
There was the
when,
first version, second version came in the removals, third version came in the second removal, fourth version came in
okay.
the February 24th.
I'm thinking when the
2024.
PUC came up with this decision about our procedures, they're probably using the old,
No,
procedures
they're using the updated ones.
okay, so they've
Yes.
got changes that we need to make?
Yes, Erin has the latest, and she wants to file that with the PUC for compliance. Those are what they,
All right, so can we say this is,
I'd say we vote on it, we can adopt those and changes.
I haven't read them.
Okay, well then, yeah.
Chris, it's the special, can we get them by the special meeting?
Yeah, I don't know, I've read them.
Okay, I haven't.
All right.
Brian, you gonna take that one on? Somebody gonna sign it? Okay.
Danny, I'm sorry to interrupt you. Any comments for what we just tabled, which was election procedures. Okay, thank you. Right, next up, records management procedures, including records retention policy and corporate email accounts. I know a little bit about this.
This one I know we had, this one I know Brandon.
So I've never seen it, but I'm told our records management system is a mess. I'm told it is in paper boxes. I'm told it's not categorized or organized, although I'm told some work has been done to try and do that, to try and organize it. I'll also say that those records are very important because they form the input to a lot of what we're trying to do here. And so every time we turn around, it's like, okay, who's going to do this? Well, what are you going to do? We got to possibly find, using Lori, I guess, as our resident expert, find the source information in order to use it for whatever reporting we might want to do.
Okay.
So, what else do you have, Jim?
Document was published to us, and it's 5J, in that big packet we got, of a records management procedure.
2 pages.
I've got 5.
Yeah, but you've got some stuff in front of it. The
Yeah.
resolution.
Oh, yeah, the resolution, yeah. I've got the procedure of what it is.
Yeah, that's all recommended.
Yes.
Right.
Okay.
I missed this too somehow. Was it?
Well, you gotta remember, this just came to us.
Just
at
came out.
5. Yeah,
Okay,
this
sorry.
That's that big packet at 5 o'clock.
Okay, good.
You know,
That explains it.
you know, they updated the agenda on this, but didn't get our back till 5 o'clock
So
today.
is this all still part of the PUC?
Yes.
submittals?
Yeah.
So we'll have to table it,
Again, we can table this one, everybody look at
have
it.
everybody read it.
I'll take this one.
Do we want to put any of this on the web so
Yes.
people can see it?
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
Right. I would agree with it.
We'll need to talk about that.
Okay.
Danny?
Do you want, by the way, do you want any update of what we're doing today? Any deadlines on record management?
Oh, sure, absolutely.
Okay. So, for you and Scott, we have a deadline to straighten out all the records that are in the building. As you remembered on the May 18th meeting, I asked for volunteers to come help us. Nobody volunteered. It's boxes, just like you described. It's boxes, it's filing cabinets. Nothing's available to us. It's difficult to go over there and pull out what did our tax return look like in this year, what were the financial data for that. Nothing is in organization. We've given Lori till the end of July, and she's confident she's going to have it done. All records in the metal filing cabinet by year, by topic, all organized. Every single piece of paper needs to go through because she's finding paper boxes that have mixed records from 2023 to 2022, election procedures, this, that, resolutions, it's a mess. So she's going through the paper copies of what we've retained. Now we need to enhance the records management policy for record retention. How are you going to do that when we get things in?
Yeah, in the future.
Yeah, in the future. Like one of the simple ones that I've requested from her is all invoices need to go to her. You know, Ms. Flunker made a very good comment about we need a general manager. You're right. We've got no funds to pay a general manager. You know, we would love to have that too. Where we sit here as a board and go through it all, but we just don't have the funds to do that. That would be great. So we're pulling from her, we're pulling from these people. We're trying to help her out, we're trying to automate it, we're trying to get the accounting people to be more automated. I mean, like I told you today, they were sitting around waiting for us to tell us what kind of reports they want.
Sure.
We're just not going to produce a general ledger because, you know, what does that mean to a lot of people? We're trying to simplify it. So this, I think, we're on the right path. Legal, and you remember, I think you had a discussion with Erin about it, about records management.
Yes,
She
sure.
gave us, this is what some of her ideas came up with on this was the record management. So they've submitted what other water companies have done and how to manage it. And then Lori's has got some tasks, such as no vendor will get a check without a 1099 form. No vendor. We don't have any of those records. It's a big problem in our 2022 tax audit as my good friend Scott has noticed, there's no 1099s to any of those LLCs that we found yet. Now Lori's still got another, 10 days to go through stuff, or 14 days. Hopefully she'll find some of them, but if not, we're gonna have to go. But I think we need to have procedures in place that nobody gets a check without a 1099, and some type of release of liability from, if they're coming on site to whether deliver parts, install parts from a subcontractor, get on the barge, Pat Ross's group, we need a liability clause that says, hey, you're releasing us from any liability if you fall in the lake and drown. Sorry, we don't have any of those. At least that's what we know about. Now, they could be buried in records, we just don't know yet. But these are some of the things that the records management system should allow us to enhance and control. But we need those up front, everything we need up front, and make sure it happens now going forward. Because it's killing us on the 2022 audit.
All the little things.
Yeah, all the little things.
And this is just a kind of a loose overall resolution that you need to get procedures in place.
Yes.
We don't have those procedures.
Nope.
This is just, you need to have these procedures, take
Yep.
control of what you got.
Yep. We need to understand.
It's gonna get down to
exactly.
nitty gritty.
It'll get down to nitty gritty.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, I think so. Are we good?
I'm good.
Do we
Can
want
I
to sign
ask
this
Dan
or
if you
not?
wanted to speak? I don't remember.
No, I'm just, you can, DEF, K.
So this is tabled also.
Yeah, go ahead.
I just want everyone to know that Patty was the one who sent an email to this board outlining all these issues. And in regards to what Jeff Walker said earlier, there's a group of people in this community that care about this water supply corporation. If we weren't holding this water supply corporation's feet to the fire, none of this stuff would be done. Hasn't been done for years, wouldn't be done now. So I take offense to the fact that we're the problem. We're trying to clean up and hold people accountable for everything that needs to be done. All of these things need to be done for our water supply corporation to run properly as a water supply corporation. These things have never been done. I don't know that they would ever be done had it been for a few people in this community holding this water supply corporation's feet to the fire every opportunity we get. So I take great offense, Jeff. We worked hard to get you on this board. We worked hard on this board to get you here. Door to door. Yeah, we did. We did. And so I know it's hard and it's uncomfortable and it's difficult work. But this community has decided that they want to keep their water supply corporation. If they want to keep it, if you want to keep it running, this is what you have to do. That's all I gotta say.
Okay, thank you. All right, next agenda item? All right. Discuss and consider status of notices to be published and mailed for PUC docket 55840, CCN amendment. Take action as needed.
Excuse me, Brian, was that, did I miss the results of the
Results of
audit?
Did I miss something else?
Yeah, you just, 2022
Oh,
audit.
There's an
Back up
in
there.
there, yes.
It's indented.
Uh-huh.
Oh, dopey me. Thank you for that.
Alright.
All right,
She's a stickler for
results,
detail.
and I'm sorry. I have to apologize to you because I took some comments and I did not take yours. I'm sorry. Not you, person behind you.
Was I too? Okay,
The person sitting there.
all right.
I'm used to it from
Yes,
yesterday.
but yeah. Me too.
That was a joke, folks, don't get excited.
Thank you for that. Okay, results of the fiscal year 22 audit.
Never heard of it.
2022.
Has it been done?
Go ahead. You were working on it.
I was just working on the 1099.
Yeah, but you were working on the responses. What did you were working on the latest
That's nothing
response.
to do with, that's not an audit, that's just a
No, those are questions coming back.
questions coming back from the
Yeah.
IRS.
What did you learn from any of that?
We're missing a lot of documents,
Yeah.
so we need to get W-9s and 1099s basically. And that seems to satisfy almost half the questions that they asked, we satisfied with answers.
Right.
Okay? Sometimes, if you have a nonprofit and you pay to another nonprofit, there is no 1099. Okay? They're asking us about 1099s for PEC. That's another nonprofit. So they had a lot of these items that they closed. And also, it seems to me like these were, maybe it's typical of the way the IRS works. They pick, like a shotgun approach, pick these items, we'll throw them at you and explain it, instead of doing a full-blown audit. So we need to get these done so we can show them that even if we don't know, we're going to get the answers as best we can and give it to them.
Yeah, did anybody read the latest email that came out from them?
From you?
Yeah, it came today?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what I'm
Yeah.
talking about.
Oh, you're talking about that one?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but you submitted a bunch of questions last week, correct?
I submitted them to Aaron.
Right.
Aaron turned around and submitted them directly to the IRS.
Well, of course,
which
yeah.
I didn't expect, but it worked.
Yeah.
It worked.
So, we have been getting questions from the IRS that you've taken the lead on and have satisfied some of the questions, and we're continuing to get more.
That's right. And we should be able to get W-9s from organizations that we pay to, because TINs don't change. And as far as 1099s,
If they cooperate with us.
if they're not done,
Yeah.
Aaron said we can redo one and call it amended or something, send it into them and see what they do. You know, we may get a, slap on the wrist or a fine. It's up to them. But we can only do what we can do.
Right. We can only provide what we can provide in 2022.
That's right.
If some of those guys didn't have it, I mean, likelihood that they're gonna sign it is highly unlikely unless we're gonna do business.
Well, one item was like to Gosselink, they got a 1099 for $110,000. They were getting paid $10,000 a month. And then they got another ledger that said, we paid $120,000. Why is the 1099 wrong? Well, I looked at the last payment was December 28th. So it depends on what kind of accounting method you're using, accrual or cash. So you may post it in January. It doesn't belong in 2020. So that's something we need to clear up.
Again, we need, accurate reporting from them.
Yeah.
So basically what I'm hearing, Scott, it's an ongoing audit that we continue to get questions from.
Because Aaron sent that in and it was due today,
Yes.
they gave us 10 days until July 30th to respond. And they shared exactly,
Yeah, to the new set of questions.
no, same set of questions.
Right.
Just responds to the ones that they didn't accept.
Right, okay, that's what I mean, okay.
Yeah.
So the same set of questions. So it's an ongoing,
It's
an
ongoing, and
ongoing-
I think a lot of it's doable, some of it may not be, but I think Aaron will know how to do the best,
yeah.
put the best foot forward.
So you're not in jail?
Not in jail.
You actually talked to a
This is
person
not
at the
criminal.
IRS?
This is not criminal.
They didn't call you names or make fun of you?
No, not yet.
I don't think you talk
Not
to
yet.
anybody at the IRS.
Okay, well, third hand via you.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, good. So, Scott, this is yours?
Yeah, but this says results of fiscal year 22 audit. Is that what you're talking about?
IRS
That's-
audit?
the
No, this
IRS
is an
audit.
IRS IDR, not an audit.
Well,
You can call it a mini audit.
however you want to call it.
Yeah, well, I would change audit to IDR.
Okay. What's an IDR? I have no idea.
Interim
I'd have
something
to
with
kill
Internal
you.
revenue.
I'd have to kill you.
Please do.
Information something request.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's part of our IRS audit. 2022 audit. Yes.
They don't call it an audit.
Okay.
Any other discussion on this particular item? Are we all up to date here? This is the status.
Yeah, the due date is the 30th,
So, yeah.
a Tuesday. We have 10 business days to take care of it.
Okay.
What do you think about getting all that back in 10 days?
Oh, it shouldn't be a problem.
That's if we have the data.
We'll be able to get back what we can.
Right, that's what I mean.
Okay, I talked to, was it Norton? Who's
Norton and Salinas?
Yeah, I talked to Tim,
Okay.
and he said, I thought I sent that to Carlton. You know, I said, well, we haven't seen it yet, but
What did you ask to have sent?
all the 1099s.
Oh, did you? Okay, good.
Yeah,
Wow.
all 1099s.
Wow, look at you making progress.
And he said, well, if you don't find it, call me back. Now, I've heard various things about how responsive they are to us since they're no longer a CPA. But we should be able to find them, and it also should be easy because you can issue 1099s out of QuickBooks.
You can.
You know, push a button and boom.
Nothing to them.
So we might be able to find it in the QuickBooks.
Well, we didn't have online QuickBooks at the time.
Doesn't have to be online.
I know, but I've used QuickBooks.
We have the historical data.
But you have to get the 1099 from the individual, so you have to print it and get it.
No,
back
you
from them.
you give a 1099 to them.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But you need their tax information and so on, so you have
That's
to
the
get.
W-9.
Yeah.
It should all be on the 1099.
Yes, should be all there.
So if they issued them out of QuickBooks, we should be able to recover it, I think.
Yeah.
Unless it's a total mess.
All right, anything else on that topic? All right, let's move on.
Brian,
Yes, sir.
I didn't speak on this one.
Oh, I'm sorry, I thought you did. Sorry, Dan, go ahead.
No, another incredibly vague,
Yep, agreed.
where no one could possibly even know that it was talking about the IRS, but, I mean, so you two know, Jeff should know this. The issue with everybody with the tax filings was the directors were the recipients of hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars. 1099 should have been sent to each director for the dollar amount that they extracted out of those plates and filed with the taxes. And that was one of the big issues.
Yeah, but well, never mind.
No, they didn't know. They knew it, and they didn't do it correctly.
But it's not WOW's problem, it's their problem.
No.
If they should have done a 1099,
No, it's the water company's problem because
well, they got the money from the water company?
that's exactly how it was supposed to happen.
So is there a check or can we
They
trace the
all wrote
money?
IOUs, and the way it was supposed to happen is they were supposed to get paid and pay their own legal fees. That is the big issue. Hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Well, hopefully we'll get every 1099 issued. You know, it's a finite scope, so it shouldn't be that hard to get all the 1099s that were issued. If they weren't issued,
But are you asking for a director to sign a 1099?
All the directors that were the recipients of the legal fees were supposed to get 1099s for the dollar amount that they extracted out of this place, and didn't.
Was that during 2022, Danny?
That was from 2019 all the way up to the last time they extracted dollars out of here. 2022?
Well, yeah, I mean.
Over $600 in a year, 1099,
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
if you're self-employed.
I don't know what we do about 2019s, 2020s, and 2021. This is a 2022 audit.
well, all I've seen was Goslink, Enoch, and maybe one other. We're getting paid about $10,000 a
Yeah,
month.
but they're not 1099.
Yeah, they're not 1099.
Those are corporations.
No, but why would a previous member be getting money that they said they paid?
I think that Danny's
The lawyers were
point-
getting paid, the
Yeah.
bills were getting bigger and bigger.
Well, I think from Danny's point, he's stating that former board members were getting paid for their legal expenses. Were they actually paying legal expenses, or were they putting it in the pocket?
Exactly.
During 2019, 2020, and 2021. Now, we can open up that can of worms, but that's a lot of worms that are going to be coming out.
Once we do a full audit,
Yeah,
it should
this
come out,
focus is on 2022.
Well, there's payments and there's reimbursements.
Somebody else may open up that can for you.
That's what I mean.
Yep.
It's a big can of worms.
Well, a full
All ready
audit
for
should
the
be coming
expense.
after this IRS exercise. That should be able to say, who paid everybody where, what did we take in, all the members paying their stuff, what was WOW's paying. If there's a track record for that, it should come up.
Good. All right. Very good. Let's move on. Discuss and consider status of notices to be published and mailed for PUC docket number 55840, CCN amendment, and take action as needed.
We should be on schedule to what they sent us. This just needs to be put on the board out front, which I plan to tonight. So that it went to the publication, should have been published today, I haven't had a chance to look at it. But you saw those emails. Yeah. It's gonna cost us $575 to publish in 2 runs of the newspaper.
And this is a PUD requirement as part of the
Yes.
CCN.
Yes. So we're trying to meet all those deadlines,
Right,
yes.
this we should vote on.
Lori is ready to go with sending a notice out to the members per that schedule.
So,
We have resolution.
we know we need to do this, what we need to do, so we need to pay for it. So let's talk about that. As far as the discussion goes, does anyone not in agreement that this needs to be paid? And
What needs to be paid?
The being able to put that on
Who
the
pays for it?
newspaper.
Well, they're gonna send us an invoice.
Okay, we haven't paid it.
Yeah, we haven't paid yet.
All right.
Next
So-
year,
so it
we'll go to
has-
next year.
Okay.
So they're gonna bill us, but it's $576 for 2 runs in the newspaper as required by the PUC for a public notice. This just needs to be put on the water company board at the, by 12 o'clock tonight.
All right, I'm with you now. All right, any more discussion on that? I think,
No.
and that's a Jeff one, I think. Should be done
Wait a
pretty
minute,
soon.
Pete, by the way, what's the status? How many do I have compared to you?
One less than me, I think. Yeah, one less than
We'll
me.
triple your salary.
Well, you should be thankful, my friend, you had all of them before this meeting.
Yeah.
Okay, next one, discuss and consider Madigan Homes Incorporated and Glenville Development LLC restated non-standard service agreement. This is PUC docket number 55840, and take action as needed. Need a synopsis of this.
Again, came in at 5 o'clock. This is what it is. It's in that packet. It's in, which one is it? Is that B or K? The K? I think it's this one. Again, let's table it to the next. We haven't had a chance to read it.
How is this different from the D, number D?
I don't know, we haven't read it. We just
No,
got
number
here
D
5
was
o'clock.
all the notices.
Yeah, all the notices.
So these are new actions we need to take.
Yep.
Okay.
All right, so we'll table this one. This is you again, Jeff.
Thanks. Yeah, that's 4 to 1, by the way.
All right, is there any date limitations on that particular one?
Yes.
Okay.
It was in that email that was published to by Michael, and I think it's in my stack here somewhere.
What ending date are we trying to target?
It's in a couple of weeks.
I'd like to see this one go away too.
Yeah, this is either way you go, it's gonna be problems.
Old business.
It
Skeletons in the closet.
is, but it's gone too far with PUC.
You can go next.
All right, thank you. Okay, so number F, discuss and consider the status of inspection and dedication of water system extension or CCN amendment, PUC docket 55840, take action as needed.
Again, I think we should read what they sent us.
Who's there? PUC?
No. Legal. I don't think it's this one here. It's one of these. Oh, it might be this one's okay. You guys all got a copy of this. I just happened to print them out.
Yeah. This is in the middle of the 193 pages, isn't it?
Yes.
Public information. How is it public information policy?
Oh, well, I don't know. That's one of these. Again, I don't think we were ready to vote on it.
Okay.
We'll have to table it, right?
I don't see it here. Okay.
Brian?
This is another one came in? Yes, sir.
On D, E, and F, I did want to say something.
I'm so sorry, go ahead. Yeah, I must have missed
Sorry,
it.
it was suggested early on, it's a little late now. Had this been filed and withdrawn and put back on for Madigan to take care of all of the business, all these expenses would have been on his back and not ours. And Jeff Walker,
Yeah,
Jeff Walker was made aware of that.
I have some background on it, Danny. It's a mess. I'd like to get it taken care of.
Developers, when they ask for water, are supposed to pay for everything.
That's right.
I believe that's right.
And we'll still hold them to that.
Yeah. There's,
I'm holding my breath.
okay, where are we at? So,
G.
Danny, did I miss you? We just almost finished up with F. We decided to table it. Is there
Yeah,
something?
no, that was D, E, and F.
Yeah.
It was all three of the same.
Oh, is that right? They're all-
Yeah, they're all related.
Okay. Okay, well, when we get one, we get three. I like that. Okay, discuss and consider the budget and revenue strategies. I'm expecting some discussion.
That's real definite.
You gotta laugh if you start crying.
Okay, Michelle, you want to do a bake sale?
I can tell you what revenues were, and I can tell you what expenses were.
All right, so Jeff just threw this report to
Well,
me.
that's a good thing to go over, though.
Well, I tried to hand it to you.
He did, but it ended up flying anyway.
You want me to go through it? There's copies of it if you'd like to.
It has really nice highlighting,
Here.
but you're gonna have to translate that.
Everybody got a copy of this. So what you have in front of you, this is the director's report that we all get. It's the 110 pages we get on a monthly basis. Okay, it's 110 pages, and it's never been updated as far as formatting. If you look through this, right there in the center that's highlighted in pink, that's the revenue we brought in June.
And say the number out loud.
$19,482.70.
Okay.
That includes standby fees, usage fees, rates, rebates, surcharges for 240 and 270 or 200 taps, plus taps. It's all the usage right there.
And before you continue, is this posted on our website?
It's going to start to be.
Okay.
That's one thing we want to discuss is all those things that we discussed about publishing on our website to inform them.
Yeah.
That have not been being published.
Is this
From
good?
legal bills to everything.
Is this good information?
Yes.
It's not
yes.
garbage, right?
It's not garbage. This is, you got this.
Yeah, I know.
It's the 111
I can't tell the
page.
difference.
Yeah. And the problem is it's so complex to go through that it's never been updated. So the real number is the one there, total receipts of the accounts, 19,000. I've asked Lori to look at how can she simplify this report. So when we give it to a layman out there, and I've got copies if anybody would like to see this, it's somewhat difficult to read and really understand. You have to really spend some time with somebody to go through it who understands it.
We might be
and
able to
go
just
through
use
it.
the totals.
Yeah,
You know.
exactly. She needs to reformat it.
Yeah.
She's looking to say, tell us how you want the report. It's one of those situations. So we need to simplify our reporting to get
So we
back to
got
the
almost
numbers.
20,000.
Yes,
How much did we spend?
I think I gave you that, Brian. Did I give you that format? The new report for expenses?
It's not in here.
No. Remember I showed you that spreadsheet, or did I give it to you?
I don't think so.
Remember the one I showed you before the meeting?
Oh, yes, okay. There you go. That's what you meant.
So one of the things that we do a bad job at and have done a bad job at is reporting our data. Nobody has gone into QuickBooks and formatted any reports that really make sense. It's a big task that MBB is going to assist us on to simplify our reports. What was spent and what was received in a single page report. This is first iteration that came off the press at 5:15 today. That's when I got this. So in June, now the problem with our accounting, Brian, is that it rolls over from month to month. Sometimes you don't pay the AWR and the legal bills and so on and so on. But to give you an idea, and all this is available, in June, we had $55,000 paid to AWR.
What's the total for everything we paid?
$109,157 in June.
And so if you take 20,000 from that, you get 89,000, right?
That's correct.
So we're losing $89,000 a month.
How much are we spending in legal fees, is what I'd like to know.
He knows.
I know.
Well, $35,000.
Okay, you take that off.
Why?
Why not? What are you spending $35,000 when you're only allowed 3?
Well,
Per the PUC guidelines.
you can't, the PUC doesn't set those guidelines. Sorry,
Okay,
they do
no,
not.
Sure wouldn't cost a general manager that much money a month.
Well, I get it, but how am I supposed to do that? How are we supposed to do that when we got an IRS audit? What are we supposed to do? I'm looking for suggestions.
So are we supposed to just keep filing
You don't like my
our tax information?
I would love your answer. What are you supposed to do? What? For what? I'm not spending the money.
Who is then? Just call it.
They are responses to Discovery,
Yeah.
to PIA, and IRS.
Yes,
That's
they're
what they
all
are.
over the map.
That's all it
Again,
is.
The legal invoices
That's
are
all it
drawn
is.
out
Okay.
by project.
Buy that all day long at the thrift store.
It's fact, it's right here.
Oh, Jeff,
It's right here. What
I
Josie,
understand
before
it's
you
right
tell
there.
it's right here.
yeah,
This is what we're spending.
okay.
And it's by project. It's not by, and
Well, we didn't create this issue. That person did.
So I'd like to,
what person did?
excuse me.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but what are you gonna do about it? We can't bill her.
Well, we should.
Well,
Go ahead.
go try to. I mean, I'm just dealing in reality that these are the three biggest categories right there that we're spending money on.
So I'd
How am I
like
supposed to,
to,
how are we supposed to handle it as a board? I'm looking to you, Brian. Please give me some
I'm
insight.
not gonna help you at all, because here we are again in a question and answer period in the middle of a structured agenda.
Okay.
I'd like to return to the
I
agenda.
think you've made the point.
Okay. I'm just trying to answer a
It
question.
could go
about-
on for a while.
Yeah.
I appreciate both points of view, okay?
Let's move
I just
on.
don't know how to
Does that
answer the question.
But that doesn't get us through this agenda here.
Yeah.
So,
I mean,
all right, so
Brian,
here's a, just a second, Dave.
still on G?
Just a second, Dave.
Still on G?
We're on,
G.
G.
G, the
We're still on
George.
G.
Thank you.
discuss the budget. and
That was a point of
strategy.
order, by the way.
So these are the,
Information, sorry.
But there's nothing to be
Say
decided.
something
No.
about G.
Okay.
these are the recommended strategy, in my opinion, is better reporting.
So
Yes, yeah,
the
yeah.
problem
And more
with what you
math.
just said, Scott, is you're looking at 1 month, right?
Yeah.
Just said at the beginning, it's
Exactly.
cash accounting, right?
Exactly.
So things come in and they go out at different points of the year,
That's right.
just like your family budget. You gotta have a car registration in January.
Yep.
So you budget that all year long,
Yep.
so you have it, right? Well, we're not quite that.
Well, and just like a family budget, you've got so much money in the bank. And we've been paying money out of that, and it just goes down, down, down,
That's
down.
correct.
Because we don't have much money coming in.
That's correct. So my point
The
is.
rates are lower than what they should be, where they're making us lose money.
Okay. This is another situation where we don't have our house in order. I'm talking finances.
Yeah.
I'm talking finance reporting. And this, what you showed me at the beginning of the meeting, what you put in front of me right here is not adequate for a corporation. And just let me finish. Yes, some people will not be able to understand a balance sheet or an income and expense statement. But at the beginning of that part of a meeting, you could quickly put up on the board and you could say, this was our balance at the end of last month. This is income and expense, what happened this month. This minus this gives you the beginning balance of the next month. And that's what people who have an inkling about financial corporate matters want to see. They want to see that continuity, so they know that there's nothing funny going on in the beginning. So,
Well,
no, I'm not,
But here you are looking at me. Take it over.
no,
I'm just trying to simplify it
No,
and get information.
well, I'm looking at you because you're another board member, and this is the discussion part of my thing, right? So, or I could look at you, Scott, if you weren't in the middle.
I don't think we can solve anything. We've considered it, got budget and revenue. As far as I'm concerned, the revenue is gonna be down the line when we can increase rates if we make it that far.
Yes. We have to be looking at every potential avenue to get more money in here, maybe even bank sales. Right? We need that revenue.
Yeah.
But at the same time, just like our sister corporation here that runs the grounds, if all you do is maintain, you will never be ready for that big thing coming down the pike. So if all we do is we get this nice influx of money, that asset is gone, and we don't change what we're doing, we will get right back to where we were, and then we will not have any asset to bail us out, right?
Correct.
So that's why we need to continue with the real estate potential there. We need to continue with the tariff changes, whatever that takes, to convince the PUC that the last ruling they made is not adequate for our expenses right now. So we got a lot of things going on here. They don't just happen overnight.
And we gotta stop the spend.
All right, so
We've gotta stop the spend.
let's talk about one point of the spend then, because the legal expenses are enormous, right?
Yes.
And a lot of it has to do with the fact that historically, board members have to protect themselves, and the corporation, not just the board members, but the corporation has to protect itself against outside whatever. It may just be because of the part of the country that we live in. It may just be because we're close to a capital city, which are made by lawyers, right? So they're everywhere. So the first thing people think of is I gotta get a lawyer, rather than explore other potential solutions to their problems. So in our case, we have a tariff thing that we can go after, right? What are we doing for that?
What do you mean?
What are we doing to convince the PUC that our rate structure is not sufficient to carry on our business?
Aaron's looking into putting in an emergency request because PUC's remit is not to allow nonprofit water corporations to go bankrupt. That's what rates are for. That's what tariff is for. Okay? So we talked to her, I said, how are they gonna let us do this? They're the ones that came up with these rates, where we lose money every month. Okay? Now, it's a good thing we have almost 200,000 in the bank, but that's gonna go down before 12 months are in.
Sure.
Okay?
Okay.
So, the other thing is, these legal expenses are, we need to respond legally because we're getting requirements that are legal.
Sure.
IRS is legal. Discovery is legal. PIA is legal. You can't just don't do it. You can't. You have to respond, and we can't do it because we'll probably do something wrong, and we'll, the organization will get hit. So,
So we're dealing, I'm sorry to interrupt you, Scott. We're dealing with sins of the past, a lot of them. We're trying to clean it up. There are 3 of us now. There was 1 for a long time. And we are now, just now, assigning these to people. We're gonna put dates on them, and the project manager in me wants to enforce that as much as possible. I don't have any authority as a project manager, that's my life, but I can try and use other people for that, for the pressure there.
It doesn't stop the spend. I'm sorry,
No,
Brian,
no,
but we have to be reality with ourselves about what's going on. I mean, he articulated it very well.
Right.
I've been pontificating this since January.
Right, so the legal
I
expenses.
had a meeting here on the 20th of February with the rates and said, we're gonna get killed, people.
You did.
And nobody, and we're to the bare bones except for legal on everything else as far as trying to hold the budget.
Right.
And exactly like what Scott said, I have to, commend him for saying that. We can't take on the responsibility of an IRS audit. Between the 3 of us, we can't file into that.
Correct.
We can't do anything about PA requests. They have to go through a legal review process. Plus, our record management, it ties in, sucks.
It does.
I would love to be able to pull that out. The reason why I went to the legal team and said, could you divide out the records
because we didn't want to have what Lloyd Gosling did to us, that put it into a big monthly bill. We had no idea what were you spending on rate case versus this. Now it's gotten down to, what are they filing per, it's on compliance, is it on rate? You know, is it on a rate case, is it on CCNN, is it on PIA, is it on tax audit? So the members could see that. And these are going to start to get published on the website.
Right.
We haven't done a good job at that. And people can see that. But our spend is out of control to what we're bringing in revenue. Our revenue got cut by 2/3. We couldn't cut expenses by 2/3 in today's economy. But this is one of the things that is just killing us.
We didn't expect any of these legal expenses.
No,
Right.
we didn't.
Nobody foresaw this.
Right.
Nope.
I did want to make one other comment about legal expenses, and I have seen a couple of the bills with our new
Yes.
firm. I think we need to think twice before sending an email. Because when a lawyer receives an email, that clock starts. And then they do whatever research they may need to do. Think twice before you send an email to the legal team. You'll see a couple of times when I've sent it to you or to you, not together,
Right.
to you or to you, where I purposely say right at the top, I'm dropping the legal team.
Right.
Because I just want some answers to questions. I don't want to start a clock. I don't want to get dinged for it.
Right.
So that's all I'm saying to my fellow board members.
Yeah.
Consider what's going on there.
We have to take into consideration these big major things that we continue to get.
I cannot answer some of those things.
Well, I mean, but
And research.
that's one of the things that's hurting us. And we really need to just spend some time and say, what is that all about? And that was my analysis here. That's what this is all about. It's all written down.
Well,
It's easy to find out.
Obviously,
and you
we-
cannot do anything about it. You cannot say, oh, we're not going to respond to the IRS.
No. We have to concentrate on
Yeah.
revenue. We
Yes.
cannot control the expenses.
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay?
yes,
We have to
Right.
yes, and that's the PUC.
Now, one thing I
When-
That's
think,
where you ought to be focusing. 90% is on how to get the PUC to understand that we're about to go
Exactly.
broke and we need help. You're
exactly.
absolutely
Already
right,
work
sir.
in play.
You're
Yeah,
absolutely right.
they should not allow this. They should not allow this. They say our responsibility is keeping water corporations solvent.
Exactly,
But you have to have reasonable rates,
exactly.
okay? They gave us rates that are totally unreasonable. I don't think they realized it.
They require you to refund, and
Refund.
that's what caused the
Yeah,
catch.
yeah,
Not the
exactly.
base rate, but the refunds are what knocks you down.
Okay.
We used old information on our income. They used old information of what
Name
was
it.
coming in.
Okay, so let's, sorry,
The gentleman is
Your name,
under-
sorry.
Yeah.
gotta get back to Dennis.
He's on the right track.
Scott,
Brian, I think this is a very good discussion that we're having in
Oh,
open
totally agree.
at the board level.
Totally
Because
agree.
the three of
It's the
us,
first good one this evening.
the three of us have not been able to do this because of TOMA restrictions.
Do you understand what he just said? TOMA does not allow us to have any discussion. If they even smack with looking like a meeting, it's not an open meeting. We cannot have the conversation. It's very,
I mean,
what's the word I'm looking for?
I mean,
It's not
to be
efficient.
Restrictive.
yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, we should be having a weekly meeting for the next 90 days because we're in a crisis mode.
Right.
But a committee can.
Thank you. That's where I was going.
Yes.
TOMA does, the rest of it is, you have officers, you have committees, and you spin them up, and you have them do the thought processes. You have them think things through and bring ideas to the committee, I'm sorry, the board discusses them in the open, makes decisions and go on.
Yes.
We need to close it here. Danny, thank you.
Oh, so you're the only one I'm going to address on this issue, on this actual line item here. So you should take over. I believe you're probably the most fiscally responsible human being sitting up here at the table. Both of these two think that they should fight the AG to keep those contracts, which Jeff said the deal had expired, from coming into my hands. That's going to be a $20,000 to $30,000 expense.
I'm sorry, contracts?
Yeah, the 3 contracts that I requested, and you also engaged the Attorney General. That's going to get very expensive. We don't need to raise our rates. We don't.
We
Do
just
you know how
won't,
much they're spending a month on legal fees, Marvin? All right, so anyway,
You gotta love it.
sorry, the crosstalk.
You just gotta love it.
So, I did a request in December for the QuickBooks native files. Do you know how much they spent? And this is before both y'all. I don't have June so far, what he spent. And it was him alone, 48 grand. But 3 months. They spent $4,000 on my one request, and I never got it. $4,003 on one request that I have never been given.
I'm not,
I
shouldn't name it.
And he's got this thing here to try to make people look bad. All he's got to do is post the invoices and let people sift through them and see it. It lines out each thing and what the cost is. And
Some items,
he probably paid $2,500
they refused
for
to
this.
respond because they were
No, I didn't.
illegal.
Pardon me?
Some items were not responded to because they did not comply with TOMA. They did not have to, okay? You
Okay,
asked
so-
for a lot of things, some of them are confidential.
No.
Some of them are, you know, they're not all.
I'm sorry, I have to bring the meeting back.
Anyway,
Okay, so,
yeah.
go ahead, Dan.
So, for example, my December 23rd that I actually requested so that Renee and I could sit down and go through the books, I've never gotten. In April, they spent $4,003 on that one item and never even responded to it. That's nuts. The dollar amount that they're spending, and like I said, this, to keep these 3 contracts from me that he claims that is off the table, is going to get upwards of $25,000. There's nothing in this contracts that we shouldn't see. We're member owners. We own this company. Truth is, I don't think they exist. I think he made it up on the fly.
Hey, Brian,
Anyway,
you gotta step in on that. You
go through
gotta
the,
step in on
Brian,
that.
go through
move
the
on.
invoices.
Let's
Go
move
through
on.
the invoices.
That's bullshit
and
right
vote.
there.
Let's move on.
Yeah,
It
no,
costs
I'm
$3,000 to
Brian
have
has-
Aaron Silvera sit at this table. Do you want him to spend $3,000 to have an attorney sit at the end of the table?
Can you
Every
put this
time
in-
that lady shows
Can you
up,
put
it's
this in
$3,000.
writing and submit it to the board?
I've not put anything in writing. You have the
Brian,
invoices.
Brian,
Oh, I know,
Brian.
okay, wow.
Go through the invoices. You're on the board. We gotta spend it. We gotta spend it. We'll go through it. It's your job.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it isn't.
Okay, so, let's unpack it.
Okay, let's move on to the next one.
Brian.
I just want to make a statement here. I think Danny is within his rights to disagree with anything that's going on here. Anybody disagree with that statement? That's Toma.
No?
No, but I disagree with what he positioned.
Okay, so here's the problem with Toma.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyone here can stand up and disagree, and Danny may be right. He could stand up and curse and defame someone in public. That may be right. I'll go check on that, right? But I think Toma does allow us as other human beings some protections, but I will check on that.
You're absolutely incorrect.
It does.
Okay, well, I'll check on that. Thank you. You may be right.
I know.
I'm new to
Home
this.
versus California. It's law.
Okay,
The Toma also says we do not have to respond.
no.
When we stand up and become a member for a moment, we open ourselves up to everything that's going to happen. We've done it before. Okay. So the problem is it's very difficult to sit here knowing the rest of the story and listen to people berate you and have to sit there and listen to it. It's no fun. So I'm not going to comment on it. You don't have to comment. You don't have to comment. All right, is there any other discussion on this?
Then what I'm requesting is that email that was sent to you made public.
Oh, the one
You know the one I'm talking about.
let me see if it's this one.
What's the purpose of that?
This one?
Yeah, I mean, what's the purpose of reading it?
That one for sure, but the one that came from Dr. Air.
For what purpose?
From
Dr. Air. About why they pulled out and what did they do.
Dr. Reed.
Dr. Air.
Oh, Vector Air. I'll have to tell you what I was hearing. My hearing's not as good as it used to be.
Point of order, you can put on the agenda the next one and try to make us look bad.
There's nobody trying to make it look bad.
Well, it's not on
Danny.
agenda. It's not.
What
it's
we're
not
trying
on
to do
agenda.
is give you guys some
Let's move on.
facts about what
Let's
the
move on.
transaction was.
Move on.
So let's just say there's often more to a story than what one person thinks or what a couple people think. It's life. You're here, many years of living life with lots of different people. Not everything you hear is correct, but a lot of it is. And so our job is to listen to it and potentially take action on some of that. All right, so we're going on to the next one.
So there's no decision and no action for G. It was just,
There's, there's a
it was
lot,
just discussed.
there's a
that's all.
lot that needs to happen in there.
Yeah, I
but
know,
it is
but
a huge
we didn't plan
company.
anything.
And I hate to say this, but we inherited an awful hot mess where it regards finances. I saw it before I was a board member. I saw month to month how reports were not provided in a fashion that I would expect out of a corporation reporting to me.
Yep.
And I know what needs to happen. It's just very frustrating. I also have a full-time job across the street. So do you.
So do I.
Okay.
It's harder
So
than working.
anyway, what do we do with this one? Does anyone,
It was
is
discussed,
anyone
there's
assigned to?
no action.
Is anyone assigned to this?
No,
finance?
there's no action.
I think we need to come up with a monthly revenue report that's simple, that identifies what we spent, and everything that is on those invoices that are major need to be put on the website.
Well, that doesn't take board action, does it?
No, we need to come up with a standard format of reporting
Well, just do it.
and a budget.
All right, so we did have a chat about this a long time ago, I think, regarding financial reporting.
Yes. And no action with that.
Why don't you let me take this,
Beautiful.
all right?
So I gave you that.
Quick
Yeah,
books.
and what we talked about at the time, Jeff, was going to meet our accountant team.
Yes,
And talking to them about our reporting requirements.
that's correct.
Because I believe, like any other accounting agency, we've got some here, they're used to pushing a button and out comes income, expense,
Yeah.
profit and loss, whatever you want to call it, depending upon the type of corporation you got.
In the format that you want to see it in.
And
Correct.
that's another story, but you're
Yes.
right. We start with that, and then
Yep.
we talk about the rest of it. All right, so can you introduce me to these people, please?
Absolutely, I'll send you the email tonight. His name is Archie. He's president and founder of the accounting firm.
Does he work with Joe yet?
Funny.
All right, so I'll get some time with him, I'll go meet him and we'll talk. All right, there's nothing else we can do with this. Danny, do you have something? Tough one. All right, next up, discuss and consider the tax filing for 2023. Take action as needed. Where are we at with this one?
Email was sent out by Aaron,
Yeah, we do.
or the accounting firm. I think we've got an extension. We filed it on November 11th or whatever it was.
Okay.
So there's an email to the effect.
But we don't have to do anything
We're
until
not
they
doing
finalize
anything.
it.
That's correct.
All right, so essentially our legal team is working with our accounting team.
Yep.
Do they have any parameters? Do they need any parameters?
Who,
The two,
Yeah, follow the law.
one of those two is gonna bill us by the hour, right? What about the accounting firm? Are they billing us by the hour for this extra credit stuff?
Yeah, it's a filing. It's a tax filing. We're gonna get billed.
Ouch.
Yep.
All right, so let's see. Who's assigned to this one? If nothing else, for oversight.
BG.
Yeah, Jeff knows what's going on.
Well, no, that was BG was.
Who's BG? Oh. Ooh.
Okay, that's me.
Your pockets are getting filled up.
I think I just bypassed Jeff's 42. Okay. I'm gonna need, it's the end of the
We
meeting
might be
light,
tied.
by the way.
Wait a minute, what's he doing? How come he's lagging behind?
No, we'll give the rest of them.
Yeah, there you go.
I need introductions there too.
I'm knocking him in the middle.
Can you do that, Jeff?
Yeah.
Thank you. All right. Danny, anything for this one? This is
H.
H,
Tax filing?
tax filing for 2023.
You see your sign-in sheet?
We are taking into consideration, I've made sure that
Look at the
every.
sign-in sheet, see if they signed in for the...
All.
Yeah.
all,
It says
okay.
all.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Very important.
Good.
I've made a note to Aaron and to the accounting people, take into consideration everything that's coming off of the 2022 audit. What did we fall short on in the 2022 audit so we don't do it again in 2023? since you're gonna go be introduced to RTM, he's the president of MB&B, you should make sure that they get what the IRS is coming up with in the 2022 audit. Make sure we don't do it in the 2023 audit.
Do we have all that information now?
Yes, we do.
But give it to them and
Yes.
they'll charge to read it.
Well, I mean, we gotta make sure it's correct. If we screwed up on the 2022 audit,
It's not an audit.
Okay.
if we screwed up on the inquiry that they're asking for information, let's make sure that,
It's very simple things they're asking for.
I get that, but let's make sure we got our records in order for
Yeah.
2023.
Exactly.
So,
All the records.
Noted. Okay, on to number I, that was tabled, that last one. Number I, we talked about earlier. No, we didn't. I mistakenly thought that was the report by our operators. Okay, discuss, consider corrections to billing for surcharges, refunds, membership fees, and second compliance report due August 16th, PUC docket 56272.
Yeah, they just found some errors in what we had sent out with the billing. So they're taking care of this. That's, what, Gloria in charge of it? So this is fairly simple.
yep. We'd already filed the corrections and how we're gonna move forward.
Yeah.
Basically what it was, Brian, just to give you up to speed, if somebody came on board on the 15th, the 18th, 20th of the month, we weren't accounting for it correctly, we weren't doing any true-ups or such as that, prorating the people's bill, but we have corrected that. We have new procedures in place.
And have we gone through a month yet to see if that new procedures are working?
Just it would be in the June billing, so we'll know the
Is
results.
someone on tap to review the bills, maybe spot check them or something like that?
No,
No.
these are very specific. You don't want to get into that, into the weeds.
I don't want to get into it, but I don't want to misbill somebody again either,
Yeah.
so what?
Well,
are their
they're doing that.
alternatives?
They're doing that.
Okay.
If you want to review them, go ahead.
Okay, I'm saying okay because I understand what you're saying. I'm not saying, okay, we shouldn't test that.
We should publish something to the membership if they do have a problem to bring it to our attention, because there might be an anomaly out there
That's right.
that we didn't catch.
Right, right.
But I really wish Julie Newman was here, because in one of the meetings, she claimed that there was a billing problem. We went back out there and reread the meter. They're claiming it got corrected. I would like to hear from the customer if it did, and I would assume it did, because we haven't heard anything back.
Kind of what I'm saying.
Yeah, and there's the
Yeah.
3 examples that we gave to the PUC that they came out with. We corrected all those bills. I don't know if we're gonna get any feedback from the customer.
So again, that's why you made a change to your processes and procedures. The next month goes by, your automated processes occur, you've got a list
Yes.
of
Yep,
checks to send out or whatever.
yep.
You go and you take every 10th one and check the math, that sort of thing.
And that's the compliance report that's due on the 16th. They will look at that again. So they look at,
This is
everybody's
fairly
billing.
complicated.
Yeah, everybody's billing, because what really kills us is the prorating.
Yeah.
That's what really kills us, because somebody can come on in the middle of the month and come off in the middle of the month, and you gotta prorate water, sewage, refund, surcharge. You gotta prorate all 5 of those.
I'm familiar with the
Jeff,
program.
Julie had a 0 on hers, and she was worried that she was using water, the bills would accumulate. I
Yeah.
remember because Scott and our hangar has 0 usage, and we don't use the
Yeah,
apartment, but we
I
flush
think they went out and read the
the
meter, but I would like to
So
hear
it'd
what
be
happened.
like a minimum,
Yeah.
maybe they mean minimum, but we
Yeah.
had the same
It
thing.
might have been a meter misreading.
I mean, it could have been a meter that was missed, it could have been a bad meter.
Yeah.
But
sometimes
I
that
see her
happens.
concern, she didn't want to come up with a big water bill all at once. with her
Exactly,
budget.
but we don't get any feedback if we corrected it the next month.
I'm
That's
glad
what I'm
you-
asking.
I'm glad you let us know, yeah.
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 Okay, so I think everyone's point of view was brought up. All right, Danny, do you have any comments for this one? This is number I.
Yeah, no, I'm good.
Okay, thank you. All right, number J.
Isn't that a repeat?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's the same as C,
yeah, again, we haven't had a chance.
Seven.
We haven't had a chance.
that's the
to
same
look
as
at
C7, so that's done.
their- It's not done, we just haven't had a chance to look at their procedures that,
Well, we talked about it, we just tabled it.
I know, but, yeah.
So we covered it, right?
Okay, so you're saying it's a duplicate?
Yeah,
Okay, we table the other one,
yes.
then we table this one.
Yeah.
Very good.
Well,
Okay.
we take this one.
Danny, do you have any comments on this one? This is number J.
No, you already went over that, didn't you?
Yeah,
Yeah, we already went over that.
just follow the procedures. Okay. K, discuss and consider resolution establishing Public Information Act policy.
Here it is.
You have that one?
Yeah.
Okay. So do I. Again, we haven't read it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's one page, 2 items. And then it's got the request form on the back.
Well, what I think we should do is read it and then table it to the next.
Yeah, let's table it.
Yes,
for the-
so much.
Is it gonna be published anywhere in the interim?
We can.
Not in the interim, no, not till we pass it.
Yeah.
This is not that important.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out, thinking in the back of my mind how we do our document
Well, once
storage,
you
how we
once you
communicate.
publish it, then you gotta be able to pull it
You could-
back.
you could
and
say
put a
draft.
new one. Yeah, you can, but
Publish it as a draft, you could say to be.
It's up to you
Okay,
guys.
so anyway, what would you like to do? You're interested in tabling this one? I haven't read it.
I'll just leave it for the next meeting.
And this is one that came in very,
Yep.
okay, gosh.
I mean, let me ask the board something. Could we implement a policy where we're gonna have these discussed? Why they not being published on the website for each agenda item? So if this is an agenda item for our next meeting, we should include this as when we publish the agenda.
I think it's an awesome idea.
Can you
Okay.
include
Now,
the
this is a
cost
decision we're
also
making, right?
of the request?
I don't know, you got
Of the-
almost
of the
200
PIA
pages.
request?
You got 200
Yeah,
pages
yeah,
here.
we're going, but I'm just saying, if you want, if membership want to see these things prior to coming to the meeting and reading it, the only way we can do it is to say, we have this on the agenda, I'm just using this one, this is that, this is the PIA request, whatever it is. This way, they have it in their hands and they come to the meeting much more knowledgeable about what this is. I'm just throwing it out there.
The commissioners, when they do an agenda, stuff that they're gonna talk about has it attached.
Yes.
Yeah, really where we're going here, because I'd like to get a look at it beforehand too.
Yeah.
So, frankly, I think it's an excellent process change, right? I
It's a
mean,
big process.
we
man.
don't put it on an agenda unless it's available.
Right. Yeah, especially if it's a resolution or a policy or some type of change. You got an 8-page document here with everything associated with it. And it's gonna affect, you know.
But these are not part of the agenda.
Yeah, if, let's say, hang on a second.
This is backup information.
I know, but hang on. So if we had this item, which is the PIA request. Item K, discuss and consider resolution establishing a PIA on the agenda. This should go with the agenda.
Yeah, it should be either linked.
That's got backup information,
No, this is.
Texas law,
Well,
you
this,
know,
yeah,
this
yeah,
and
but
that.
this is the resolution. This is what
Put the
we're
resolution
proposing.
in, that's it.
Well, but this is what we're proposing.
Well, why not put them in the back of the agenda, just like you did?
Well, yeah, that's what
Put
we're
them as
saying.
addenda.
Yeah,
So
that's-
they're not, because when you put something in the agenda, that's very specific, the laws apply.
Well, I know
If you
that.
have addenda, it's just information for you to read.
Well, this one is, this is the resolution, so
So
I'm using this as.
this would solve
Yeah, it is
multiple
now,
problems.
but.
Yes.
It solves multiple problems. And it
It
doesn't have to
could
be
put a
our,
lot in there too.
it doesn't have to be our corporate website. It could be like a Google Docs or something like that. You put the agenda with links. Each item has a link to the background document,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Then you say, okay, you get all that stuff put up there, it's linked. You tell the board members,
That's fine.
there's your stuff
Yeah.
for the next meeting, go
Yeah.
research
Yeah,
it.
that's right. But the agenda
Anyone
should
here
be
can
1
go
or 2
look at it.
pages.
Yeah,
It solves a problem where you're not providing enough information on
that's
your
correct.
agenda.
Yes.
That's
It's
correct.
everything we know right there.
It makes it transparent.
Totally makes it transparent. So, on to the PIA request.
Can we make a decision on that, or that was not on the agenda?
Well,
No, we're talking
yeah,
about.
well, I think, I don't know if it's a resolution, but it's a motion that we should, that's what we should do. I make a motion that that's how we should handle
So let's table it.
agenda items.
To the next meeting for a decision?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Now, let's,
Can we discuss the PIA request, just some, about
No.
costs?
Commissioner,
That, what?
Okay, so,
Hang on a second. Sparky?
Which agenda item is it?
Right here. The PIA, Public Establishment Public Information Policy, it's part of the policy. Hang on a second, it's part of the policy.
Oh, that's getting into the weeds.
No, because hear me out. I think that I would like to suggest, and if you just overheard the comment from somebody in the gallery, we should have, what is the cost of that PIA request? And that was suggested by our legal team, that many firms do that. And we published the PIA request on the website. And what was provided to them, that particular request. So if somebody has the same request that's satisfied, and the cost to fulfill that PIA request. That was a suggestion from legal.
I think it's awesome.
If they're suggesting it, then I'm all for it.
Okay.
Just make
I
sure
think that
it's
should
legal.
be, I think that should be included in the policy, we'll just have to make sure.
Okay.
I would like to see the actual request,
Is this
Yep.
from- is this from
the
Aaron?
verdict
Yes.
from the
Okay.
verdict
Forward
from the
that to
legal
Aaron.
team.
Yeah, that's why I wrote that out.
Yep,
Yeah.
start over.
Okay.
I'd like to see the actual request,
Yep,
the submitter,
yep,
the response or the
Yep.
analysis from the legal team,
yep,
and the cost to provide that.
yes. And the final submission. Yeah.
Okay, sure. Can we put that on the web?
Yes, yeah, that goes on the website, definitely.
The public
It's public information.
request.
Okay. I think
We can
that's.
put it all on the website.
Yep. And everybody can do their analysis
Good.
paralysis about.
Make up their own mind.
Yeah, make up their own mind.
Okay, so that was an actual decision, by the way.
Okay.
This is
You
something.
wanna make a
we don't need
motion
to-
Well, it was a recommendation, not a decision.
Yeah, because we're gonna talk about this at the next meeting.
Yeah.
We're gonna enhance
It's
this.
recommended, take care of it.
Okay, so whatever that says,
Yeah, plus I wanna make sure that the dollar, everything that we just talked about, like the dollar's in there, the dollar that it took us and so on and so on. So I just wanna verify that.
all right, I'll remember it for the next
Yeah,
one.
okay, good.
Okay, so,
Okay.
all right, so, Danny,
Yes, did I hear the three of y'all just actually say that you're in favor of the law firm continuing doing the Public Information Act?
I don't think that was stated overtly, but go ahead.
Okay, I mean, that's what I thought I.
No, you wanna clarify that? You
No,
want us to
just
clarify
that's
that?
what-
No, we don't pass judgment on those.
Now, what was your question, Danny?
I said, did I just hear that the three of y'all agree that the law firm should continue to do the Public Information Act request?
They have to.
They have to.
They have to.
Okay,
They have to.
sure. Anyway, what I wanted to say on it was, I have done requests through Double Horn just to see how they did things. I've shared it with Jeff. I've done requests for sheriff's office, email requests, and mine just sheriff's office has a full staff. 2-3 days, Double Horn was 4, PDFs coming, no one, there's no guff, no nothing. That is how it should be, that's how it was with Joe Jimenez. And we complained paying him $415 a month.
But lawyers did it anyway. Yes, you look at the records.
Anyway, so, but he wasn't spending this kind of money.
He got the money, but he didn't do it.
Anyway, my point is, like the December 23rd request that they spent $4,003 for, and how do you rectify that? I mean, maybe the law firm should start explaining themselves.
Well, are you offering to come and answer your own requests?
Maybe the law firm should rectify and explain how they came to those costs. I saw it, I couldn't believe it.
Would you like to answer those requests?
It's funny that you have questions when you want to talk.
We all do.
Knowledge is power.
How would you like to see that rectified, Danny? No, I'm asking you a question. Would you like, here's what I heard.
All right, so.
Hang on a second, hang on a second, here's what I heard.
Just so you understand, I can ask to look at these records at the office for nothing, and you have to show up down there. It is so simple to put the records, scan them, and shoot them out.
That's what we're
Attorneys don't need to spend $1,000 to do one request for me to see invoices. And that's what's happening.
We don't have the invoices, that's the problem. It would be great if we had a filing cabinet
So
to
I'm
go
asking the
to.
same question that Joe Jimenez was asking the PUC. The invoices aren't sent to you to be paid? You have a copy of them, you should.
No, I don't.
So you've never seen the invoices?
I
You
don't
just write checks?
No, I don't write checks. I don't write checks, Danny. You think that I mean, from this meeting, you think I did everything. I don't write checks.
We went down to the PUC on the 12th, I think it was, and begged them for an emergency manager. I'm begging you to do that too, because we need assistance clearly. Or is your ego too big and you're gonna do it?
No. We're willing to have help, but the problem is we don't have the resources and the money to pay that. We are putting new procedures in place. Hang on a second, Michelle. The question was asked. We're putting new procedures in place that all invoices go to WSC billing at Coventry. You know where they used to go? They used to go to the treasurer. Mike Nelson is still getting mail. That's a problem.
Is it our fault that you don't have a treasurer?
We don't need a treasurer right now.
Well, I can't answer that question.
We have financial.
I can't answer that question.
No money, Tony.
Don't go there.
All right, it's getting late here. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out.
Are we going to L?
All right, so,
We did.
Danny, you did talk on that, right?
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Discuss, consider status of FY23 audit, take action.
That's a repeat.
Nope.
22,
No,
23.
this is the 23 audit. This is the one that they've had. We got an email, everybody got an email today on the status of that.
Okay.
Daniel is back in play. We owe them some money to finish the 2023 audit. They're targeting 15th of August to have the 2023 done. A lot of information was requested and hasn't been satisfied yet. There's an email that came through. I'm not throwing anybody under the bus.
No, and my problem is, like I mentioned, I got a full day of work and I'm behind on that already. so
Exactly.
Go in and check my email.
This is a PUC requirement, isn't it?
This is a
They
user
want-
requirement, a PUC requirement, everybody.
Plus, we need it for a lot of different things.
We need it for a lot of different things.
Okay.
Another.
It's important.
example
Yeah.
of that.
Okay.
So,
what is happening here? Do they have the information
No.
they need to complete it? They
he's
do
on
not.
vacation today, we'll get back to
We can't
two of
take
us,
any action
you
today, can we?
and somebody else. I'm on it, because I made the request, because I'm like, where's it at? I didn't see anybody else stepping up to the plate. I asked, where's the 2023 audit? She came back and said, I have a whole bunch of questions, I'm on vacation, I'll get them to you by Friday of this week. I think I included you in that email.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
All right, they are targeting 15 August to complete,
I think so.
and yet they have questions.
Yes.
So the questions must not be so egregious that they don't feel like you complete.
Yes.
Probably fine.
We just don't have a lot of the, it's information.
Yeah, it's information.
It's in a filing nightmare over there at the thing, and we're doing the best we can to get that straightened
Yeah, I
out.
think we've already made that point
Yeah.
in this meeting several times.
Yeah,
but, doesn't make
I mean, we inherited a mess.
Yeah. Okay, so, who has the point on this one?
There's nothing to be done.
Yeah, there is.
Just table it until the
No,
next meeting.
no.
Someone
No,
has to
Scott,
oversee
no,
what's
there-
going
there-
on here.
There's gonna be a
Follow up on
request, yes, there's gonna be a request of information that they are looking for. It fell through the cracks to somebody else, and we gotta pick it up. She's gonna send it to us by Friday of what she needs to finish the audit.
Okay. I can help with that, just like I do.
There you go, go.
You can put me down for that. I've escaped so far.
Yeah, yeah, big time.
He who speaks next loses.
Yeah.
And you'll double my pay, right?
Oh,
Exactly.
absolutely. Okay, so that is the end of number 5, except Danny,
We're good.
you're good, okay. Number 6 is the legal update, and we're horses head for the barn, so,
I'm not gonna discuss it, I already told people what it is.
I think we already talked about
Yeah,
that
it's-
IRS inquiry.
Yeah, it's,
And I don't know what the costs are, but
IRS inquiry and costs to date. Did we come prepared to talk about
is
it?
it,
yep,
is it,
there it
Is
is.
Is there
total
like a
simple
high-level
line
figure
you're doing?
of cost to date? Let's at least get that
So
on the
in the
table.
IRS audit, you're talking basically the 2022 IDR.
That's an inquiry, it says here.
This is
Yes.
dated, all the invoices, 4/3, 5/3, 6/11, 7/5.
What's the total?
IRS audit, total 16,970, or 67.
16,000?
Yeah, that includes the,
Okay,
that's that.
And who was doing this audit for us?
This is just the legal team.
This is the legal.
This is only legal and accounting,
Legal and accounting.
and accounting. $17,000 so far.
Yep.
It's one of our smaller bills.
The CCNN, 23,746.
46, okay.
PIA request, $14,013.
Okay.
That's
So-
a 4-month total.
Number C, what's the total
The total-
legal cost to date?
I'm sorry?
The number C says update on legal costs to date, everything.
Yeah, legal cost to date, didn't total that, the page printed off on the other
So
side.
the
Doesn't have it.
17 and 23, that's like 40.
43, yeah,
54,000.
$54,000
For what period?
in a 4-month period.
All legal, up to date.
Yeah,
For what period? Going back to
Up to date.
1920? or-
no, April, May, June,
Yeah.
well, it'd be March, April, May, and June. Because it's always 30 days in arrears.
54K.
Yep. Comes out to $196 per user.
Okay.
These, as we discussed, will be published on the website.
Yeah.
Starting tomorrow. If you guys are okay with that.
I'm fine.
We should have a resolution if you want to vote on it, or you guys are okay to put the legal bills as defined, coming from them, on the website.
If we
People
do-
can download them, people can use them for the PIA requests, and so on.
If we're not
Can we do that if
tabling
it's not on
any,
the agenda?
I'm sorry?
Can we do that if it's not on the agenda?
That's what I'm asking.
Okay,
it's
so
not-
we'll consider this part of the update?
Yeah,
We're gonna put it
yeah,
on the, okay.
I mean,
All right,
I
A,
make a
B, and
motion that
C,
we
I
put it
didn't
on
hear
the-
anything get tabled. Did I miss something, or?
we'll update the IRS inquiry and cost the dates. It's right here.
I make a motion that we put all this information on the website.
We had somewhat of a presentation. Let's vote on acceptance of that.
Okay?
And then let's vote on making it visible, like getting it on the website.
How do you guys want to do it?
All right,
You talking about Tammy's presentation? or what?
no,
No?
he's talking about publishing these documents.
Oh, yeah, well, put them up there.
It's using what we have right now to give some visibility to this
So this will be
information.
March through June.
Yeah, this is only Carlton groups.
Yeah.
This is basically when they started, year to date. Not year, I'm saying start date of them.
Okay, so tell me, okay, let's get a motion on the table first, then we'll discuss the rest of it. All right, so I'll make a motion that we accept the data for legal and accounting for the period of March through June 2024 as presented.
Okay?
I second it.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Now, let's discuss this. We also
I
talked
thought we just
about,
voted on it.
Yeah, we are.
That's right.
Oh.
no,
You're supposed to discuss
yeah,
before
you're
you
supposed to
vote.
discuss first.
no, you bring the thing to the floor.
No, you
It's
take
gotta
a motion
determine
and then
whether you're gonna
yeah.
discuss
After
it.
the motion,
Then
you
you
discuss
discuss
it. Then you vote.
Sorry.
Yeah,
You just, go ahead.
Actually, you're right.
Go ahead.
You propose the thing to talk about.
Yep,
Then you get a second, and you
Yep.
stop there.
and then
Then
you
you
discuss.
No, you stop if you want to
Yeah.
discuss.
So let's all pull our votes back and we'll discuss it.
All right, so, we're discussing.
The next item does not have much, but we need to vote on it.
All right, so we like the data we have for now.
I mean, it's their bills.
Wait, that's stretching it. We've accepted the report.
As
We
presented.
don't know whether it's true or not. We accept it. We have faith in it, right? Are you gonna go through everything, Chief, with all that?
I think we just undid everything I wanted to do here. And so what I think we should do instead is just table it at this point.
Oh, no.
Publishing these on the website?
No, let's put these on the website.
That's another topic, isn't it?
No.
No, it's part of this. Okay, part of this.
I would say we publish
It says
these on the
update. How
website.
do you update?
I don't think we need a board resolution or anything, or a board vote to publish.
I don't think we do.
Yeah, so I'm gonna,
Let's
Publish
just
I'm
that
gonna,
stuff on the website.
yeah, I'm gonna tell Lori to put up a category, legal bills. There'd also be one for operations,
Yes.
everything that we get invoiced from AWR. Those are our two biggest expenses today.
Yep, that's a good idea.
Both of them will be on the website. Since the start with AWR, I think we can go back to January.
Yeah.
So we'll publish anything we have available to us in 2024 in a separate line item. And then there'll be another there'll be another tab for PIA requests. PIA requests that came in, like you said, we requested it, a copy of it,
Yep.
a
Answers
copy of the
and
response,
cost.
yeah, and then the cost.
Next item?
Danny,
Did y'all pass the update on the compliance filing requirements?
which number are you talking about?
B on legal update B?
Number 6, A, B, and C is what we were just discussing.
Yeah.
What about, yeah,
That one got, we don't have the data,
Yeah,
we
we
haven't
just
reviewed
tabled
it.
that one.
That one tabled.
That's Jeff's filing.
It's not my filing,
That's Jeff's
Danny.
filing.
It's not my filing.
It is your filing from start to finish.
It's not my
That
filing.
is your filing from start to finish.
Unfortunately, it's not Danny.
It is your filing from
He
start
keeps
to
saying it
finish.
is.
I know, you should get your
He
terminology
keeps saying
right.
it is.
Okay, this is fun, but what, do you have
I'm
an actual?
just curious why you didn't discuss it. It's the biggest issue there is.
Because we don't have the information.
Whoa, hang on a second. We did discuss components of the compliance
Yeah, we did.
filing, such as the election
Lots
procedures.
of
Yes, that's right.
We discussed it already
Yes.
in other areas.
That's right.
So keep in mind, those 3 areas what I submitted and then they got changed. Nobody
And we
looked at it.
discussed tariffs.
Yeah,
Right,
we
don't
discussed
do it again.
bylaws. We
We discussed the
discussed
bylaws. That's all
discussed
part of the
bylaws.
compliance.
We discussed rates.
Yes.
So again, Danny,
So you did discuss some of
Several.
the things because
Yes.
I have read it.
Yes.
Like the audit is part of the compliance
That's
filing.
correct.
That hasn't been done.
Which
I mean,
audit?
don't the
2023.
members, shouldn't
Oh.
the members know this?
That's
Really?
Well, we just discussed it, Danny.
You just didn't discuss it as part of the compliance filing.
Oh,
Then
okay,
the
well,
deadlines that are missed.
well, we can go back and
You
rehash
don't need
that.
to go
So,
back.
okay.
You
No,
have
no,
an agenda
no,
item
we've
here.
already covered it in previous
You
agenda
covered
items.
the audit. You did not cover the fact that it was a requirement for the filing that has been missed.
No.
Yes, we did.
No.
I asked him,
Yeah.
is this a PUC requirement? And he said yes.
The
And
compliance,
it's gonna be
you know,
used for many other requirements.
Yeah.
I did. No?
Yes.
Okay, well,
The,
I'm just curious, it's on here.
we have a chart.
Replay the
that-
tape.
We have a chart. Let me just,
So wait,
legal,
so you have a recording up there?
Should replay your tape.
no, he was talking
Like
about,
yours.
No.
no, he was talking about
No.
yours.
All I have is a
There's
timer.
your-
Yeah.
You've been recording it.
No. You want me to answer any of that, Brian?
No.
You're okay.
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 They
That
just
was,
did answer.
there was a comment, we fielded a comment.
Yep.
Thank you, Danny.
Thank you.
All right, time, place,
11.
date, agenda items for next meeting.
I think table it until we decide when we
No,
want to do it.
we gotta get one on before the first.
Yeah, but we will. You make, you
Well, let's figure out the time.
don't have to decide right now, though, do you?
Well, it's on the agenda.
Pull up
It's
the
on the
calendar.
Why not?
Okay.
Pull up the
Let's do
calendar,
it.
what's reasonable?
You need 72 hours? So Friday's the earliest, or
Well, let's go, where we go Tuesday of next week.
Tuesday next week? Okay.
Is that good?
Yep.
I mean, I need agendas back, but
What's the date? Anybody have-
16, 23rd.
23rd.
Now we'll have only specific items there that need to be addressed.
Yeah, everything we table.
All right, so we've got
Brian, are you
some,
who's gonna write the agenda?
we've got some problems on that. I will be happy to take a pass at that, I'll go through this,
You're passing it, or are you gonna?
take a pass.
Oh, that means you're gonna.
Create a draft.
I'll
You'll
I'll
bring it
help
up.
you. I'll
Yeah.
I'll
Create
do
a
the
draft.
same, and we
Okay,
can
that's fine.
compare, right?
Cool.
Absolutely,
Only
it
two of
goes
them.
to legal
Not three,
anyway.
only two of
Yeah,
them.
I'll pull out from this
cool.
what we didn't
And you
do.
know it does have to go up for legal review.
Yes.
Why does it have to do that?
Because I don't want to get, the corporation does, they need to make sure that it meets TOMA requirements for an
Correct.
agenda.
All agendas have been passed by legal. Another reason is, it's in our contract. It's in our letter of engagement with Carlton
with
Group.
PUC.
No, with the Carlton Group.
Okay.
Okay, good.
They want to protect us, the corporation, it's their job to protect us.
Yeah.
That's why they look at minutes, that's why they have a line item in their contract with us.
And it's your job to send it to them, right?
Well, you can send it to them, all I get is the final and I publish it on.
But we
Okay.
should know month
Yes.
to month who's responsible
Yes,
for it. right?
okay.
The next regular scheduled meeting is on a Saturday, August 16th, I think. It's published on the website.
It is.
The next one is a Saturday, as we all determined, that's the end of the quarter or whatever we decided on that next Saturday. I think it's the 16th, but don't hold me to that.
It's $820.
Yeah.
I didn't write that date down, I know better. I know it's on the website.
Yeah. So the next regular scheduled one is in August. This will be a special, and you'll have to note that on the agenda heading, special meeting.
Now it's 8:26.
What, are you trying to call for an adjournment?
Yeah, I'm just going to get the right time,
Okay.
as soon as we can.
Danny, any comments on that?
Thank you. I just wanted to, once again, say that Jeff ran on having meetings on Saturdays.
Jeff, what?
You ran on.
Every
having
3
meetings-
months, we do it on a Saturday.
Yeah, I mean, it was proposed on
It was
February.
proposed a long time ago.
Yeah, it was proposed, but you're sitting up here calling another meeting since Tuesday night.
Well, we need a special meeting, and why do we need that, Danny? We need it to rectify the water requirements that Tammy
And
has.
you can't do it on Saturday.
She's got a deadline of August.
No, it's too late.
Yeah, she's got a deadline of August 1st,
Yeah,
and
too
we
late.
need time.
All right.
We need to take care of business.
All right,
She said she'll have
had a
to
good
come
meeting.
back and special trip back.
I make a
Thank
motion
you.
that we adjourn?
That's a reasonable motion. I second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
That's teamwork.
Yeah, let's cut to the chase here.
Thank you all very much.
8:27.
What time, 8:27?
Anybody want any legal bills? Okay. Anybody want any tariffs, any PIA requests that could be satisfied here tonight? They're free of charge instead of going through legal. He has a copy, he can probably give you a page.
This is one thing on the
Yeah.
agenda.
Yeah.
That's the one, right?
Show me.
I have one at home.
Yeah.
Jeff,
Okay. Marta, let me go through that real quick. So this is what we paid for these given months. Okay, what we're trying to do is here's our invoices, here's what we paid, and expenses and so on. We're not there yet. This is, I didn't get this till 5:15. We're writing new reports. Exactly. In a better form. And then the bigger one is yeah. Okay. This is the director's report. This is an excerpt of 117 pages. We are going to start to put that on our website. Now, if you look at this, it's very confusing, but maybe you can figure it out. That's my bottom line revenue that I generate. You look here and you go, oh, well, you took in $2,000, well, total current charges, total receivables, it's mislabeled, that's the bottom line revenue. So I would like for you to look at this and give me some comments back. Does it make sense to you? I couldn't figure it out. Yeah. Oh.
I couldn't help, remember that? What was it on?